Hello and welcome to the Mythos Mystery Society presents the Crack'd and Crook'd Manse Live! Brought to you by Schmuckies. Schmuckies, it's alive! Kind of like how I did Reefer Madness with a new group, I did Crack'd and Crook'd Manse for a different group because coronavirus has made everyone really bored, so I figured I'd throw some one-shots at my friends who don't normally play RPGs to kind of entertain them in these weird times. That being said, coronavirus has also messed with our schedules for, canon versions of what's going on in the Mythos Mystery Society. We've been a little all over the place with our schedules lately, so that's been disrupting things. We're going to get back on track very soon. We have a game coming up very soon, I believe. It's almost ready to go, so we'll get back on track once that happens. But in the meantime, enjoy this. I switched things around a lot for this scenario, so it is not the same as what you may have experienced in the past. Let the show begin! I'm the GM today. I've run this once before, so this is now my second time running it, but I'm running it more correct this time, and it will be a little bit different if anybody saw the original one. And with that, I'm going to introduce the new people that I don't normally have on my stream. So we'll go with Mozzie first. Mozzie, why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing as just a little bit?
Hi, I am Massimo, and I am playing as 13-year-old Zero. Yeah, that's all you want from it. Don't tell anything else.
You can say, you're the weirdo, and that's probably about it. I think we'll just go with that.
Yeah, I'm
everyone
the
knows.
weirdo.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but
There's
tell
a
them
Casey
who you
Council
are in the
song.
game.
Okay, I'm Zero the Lightbringer. I'm a weirdo. Sorry, I don't know, should I tell about my problem, my drive?
No, it's fine.
Okay,
That'll come up
okay.
in the game. I was just making a joke about how you're a weirdo in real life, too.
I am not a weirdo.
With that, we'll pass it over to Gina. I'm just going to kind of go this way on my screen.
I'm Gina. I'm playing Jean, which is a fictional version of myself times Hermione Granger. She is the bookworm.
There you go. And then Michael.
All right, I'm Robert, also known as Slicer95. I am I'm the hacker, and as you can understand, Code Slicer.
Alrighty, and then Alicia.
I am Alicia. I am playing Ashley Armbruster, or as she would like to be called, Black Ash. I am the troublemaker.
Nice. Alrighty, and with that said, I can start the game. So, our prologue. We open at about 11 p.m. on a Friday. It's dark outside, made eerie by the still October fall. The dead leaves rustle ominously as the wind picks up in the dead silence. Inside an office building somewhere, lit only by the fluorescent bulbs crisscrossing the ceiling, we find an older man at a desk. He's reading something on his computer, smoking a cigarette as he types up a document, when suddenly an old manila envelope lands on his desk. He looks to the envelope, then looks up to the person who put it there. With the cigarette still in his mouth, he says, "No shit." His colleague says, "Yeah, it's been reopened. Turns out that shipment never arrived." "Really? Well, we're just learning about this right now," the man in the chair says, leaning back with a smoky sigh. "So expedite it." "I have, but it'll still be a day or two." "Well, shit." Don't worry," the colleague says. "The place has been around for more than 90 years, and there haven't been any more incidents since we checked it a month ago. No one has gone there in years, and I doubt people even remember it still exists. It waited this long. What's the worst that can happen over a weekend?" Chapter 1, Mrs. Lake's Room. We cut to earlier that day to Bennigan's High School in Prosper Cove. It's now getting close to 3 p.m. You can feel the restless teens inside waiting for that final bell to ring so they can go out and enjoy the beautiful autumn weekend. Inside Miss Lake's history classroom, the teacher is just starting to assign homework for the evening. "Now, class, this is important. Your assignment, due Monday, is to come up with a presentation based on a local historical figure. I'll be putting you in assigned groups and giving your historical figure to study. You should do a video or a short play. Get really creative with it, kids." And she goes down the aisles limping. She has only one leg. And she limps down the aisles with her prosthetic leg, calling groups of kids together until finally she gets to the 4 of you. And she points at all of you and she says, "Let's see, you will do nicely. How about Lawrence Coswell? He was a famous explorer back in the 1920s. Does that sound like fun to you kids?"
Oh yeah, so much fun.
Of course.
Can I go to the bathroom first if this is going to take a really long time?
You can go to the bathroom after class. And with that, Mrs. Lake looks at the clock. It's just about to hit 3 p.m. She turns back to her class and ends it on the same note she always does. And remember, class, what's the magical word you say to drugs?
Yes!
Later.
Don't do the hard one.
No, the hard ones. Only the natural stuff. And with that, the bell rings and there's a rush of students as they all escape the confines of their classes. So you are now free to leave the class. And here's where I toss it to you guys. So you've been assigned a group together, and now you got to figure out how to study Lawrence Coswell.
Who's Lawrence Coswell again?
He's a famous...
We don't know.
Oh,
We can go to the library.
there you go.
I could summon a scroll where we can look and find out who he was back in the time where he actually was it.
Ashley and Robert, do you want to go to the library after class?
Rather than the scroll thing, yes. The library has a computer. We can use that to look him up.
Nice.
Cool.
I have fond memories of the library with Jean.
Yeah.
I'm good friends with librarian Martha. She's very sweet on me. I'll be happy to go too.
Now, did you guys want to go to the school library or the public library?
The school library. She's nicer.
Okay, sounds good. And with that, you all make your way over to the school library. As you enter the room, there's a college student that sits at the librarian's desk, and she goes, "Oh, hey, Jean, what are you looking for today? It's nice to see you again. Who's your friends?"
This is Robert, Ashley, and
Zero? How can you
Okay.
forget that? God.
we're doing a report on Lawrence. What was it, Coswell?
Lawrence
He's supposed to-
Coswell? Oh, he's
Yeah.
famous. Yeah, I know him. Here, let me get you something. And with that, why don't just everybody roll mind comprehend?
Just like my name, Zero.
You go zero.
In fairness, I had two, so.
Nice.
1-6 for me.
1-6. All right. And then anybody else?
I got 1-6 also.
You got a 6 as well.
I got
Alrighty.
all prime numbers.
Were any of them a 6? I don't remember math. Oh, Jesus.
I can't comprehend prime numbers, Ashley.
All right, so that's kind of perfect. So here's how we'll do this. So, Robert, you are hacker man. You love going on the computer. So you're going to boot up AOL on the library computers, and you're going to look up on a website there. Jean, you're more of a book person, so you're going to go to the books. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send something in the Facebook chat. So draw your attention over to that. Hang on one second. Jean, you find this, so I'm going to share this first. And Jean, if you want to read that first, you can do that.
Alright guys, Lawrence Coswell is the most adventurous local legend we have. This totally rad explorer was on expeditions around the globe as a chronicler. That means he wrote all the notes and drew cool sketches about the adventures he went on. Lawrence is most well known for being a part of Hiram Bingham III's expedition to discover Machu Picchu, but he was also on the trip to discover new land in Antarctica with Bat Bogswin, climbed Cannibal Mountain with the famous Everett Breckenridge, the one from the movies. After a mysterious adventure in Australia caused him to seek mental health at Danvers State Mental Institution in Salem, he got better, married, and then lived a happy life in Prosper Cove until he passed away in 1934. His manse, it's not quite a large house, but also not quite a mansion, think of it like a baby mansion, he built with his wife, still stands in the Red Heights woods.
And something I forgot to mention, the name of that book, which will make a lot more sense now, is called Prosper Cove's Prosperous Figures for Kids.
I was wondering why it said totally rad.
Yeah. And then for Robert, you're on the internet, you type in Lawrence Coswell, and this AOL for Kids website pops up, and it's a website called Spooky Prosper Cove, local ghost stories to freak your sheets for kids. And it is, let me pull it up for you.
fellow compatriots, I only knew of one location. Every other location is foreign to me. I only know of Salem.
It's the only place I know. Okay, so there you go, Robert, if you want to read that one out loud.
There we go. All right. Sorry. My unmute is not cooperating. All right. Chapter 7, The Donkey House. That's an odd name. This spooky house sits in the northwest corner of Prosper Cove's Red Heights Wood. Up on the hill, forgotten by time. This manse... Oh, jeez. Not quite a large house, but not quite a mansion. Think of it like a baby mansion. I'm going to remember that forever.
Now I get it.
Has been the host to lots of spooky occasions. In 1934, its original owner, Lawrence Coswell, came home one spooky night after an expedition to the Amazon.
To Arizona? Hell of an expedition.
Have you been there?
The wilds of Arizona.
All right, he returned from the expedition to Arizona, shot his wife, and killed himself. What a crazy...
Intriguing.
Then 30 years later, in 1964, Arthur Kerwin went insane and killed his 3 children and wife, and then went missing, just like a spooky movie. Some say the house was built on a spooky ancient cursed burial ground, and every 30 years the curse claims its next victim. Others say the spooky ghost of old man Lawrence still haunts the house, driving victims mad to add more company to his lone old manse, which, again, is like a baby mansion. No one knows for sure, but needless to say, it's just spooky.
Compatriots, I know I was on the fence before, but now I'm super into this.
Nice. Alrighty, and with that, you read those 2 things out loud, and you hear the librarian behind the counter just kind of chuckle a little bit, and she just kind of shakes her head and keeps reading her book.
Martha, she's a sweetheart.
If you'd like, roll... Gene, roll Mind Investigate, because you know Martha probably the best out of everyone here.
By the way, guys, how great is the name Donkey House? Just saying.
Makes you wonder what's going on up there.
I didn't get any 6s.
No 6s? Okay. So you realize that she kind of like scoffed at something, but you aren't exactly sure what.
I mean, she's always been mysterious, guys. Just letting you know.
I would think
Oh,
that
it
everyone
just gives
would
me-
be mysterious to you, Zero.
Whenever I try to look for a book, she just leaves clues around the library for me. It takes me a bit to find it.
That is weird.
Everybody in Prosper Cove's weird like that.
So, companions, I think to do a real good job on this report, I think we should visit the Donkey House. I think we should get the lowdown. I mean, we should get the real. No, that doesn't work.
Totes my goats.
Yeah, we should only go there at night when it's dark and spooky.
Well, it's not dark right now. We could go and be fast.
Do we know what time it is?
Yeah,
It's
I mean, it
after
just
school.
ended school. Yeah, so it's about like 3 o'clock. Maybe probably about 3:30 by the time you guys are done finding and reading those books, because they're tiny and, you only read a chapter of them.
I mean, how long AOL takes to boot up, though? It might be a little later.
Oh, it might be 6 o'clock. True.
So I had a picture on it.
I've only had Cheetos and milk. I could probably go for a snack.
Oh, that sounds gross. I mean, not at 13 years old, but, you know.
Thank you for being cognizant of my age, Ashley.
You're welcome.
But yeah, is there anything you guys would like to do?
I don't think I really have any tasks that I would want to prepare to go to the house, but I guess I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I think we should probably get directions.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you pull up directions on the AOL?
Yeah,
Mapquest.com.
Mapquest.com.
Mapquest.
Oh, dear
10 hours
God.
later by the time it loads.
Can I go up to Martha and ask her if she knows the way to the donkey house?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, you could just do that. So you walk up to Martha and she puts her book down. She's like, how can I help you?
So, me and my friends over here, we're just wondering, you know, because you're an adult and you're smarter than the rest of us, we're wondering if you know how to get to the donkey house.
You're going to the donkey house? No, are you
Yeah.
guys planning to do the donkey dare, or are you just going for... what do you need to go there for? The place is a little dangerous.
We just want to get a really good grade on this report.
Oh,
Wait,
okay, it's a report.
Donkey Dare? Let's back up a second. What is that?
Oh my. Well, okay. So apparently a lot of the kids around town like to do something called the Donkey Dare, where they stay at the donkey house overnight, but I wouldn't recommend it because, again, you shouldn't stay in an abandoned house after dark. It's dangerous to do something like that.
You should totally do that.
I bet you could.
But if you really want to get a good grade, like you said, I can give you the MapQuest directions to the donkey house. However, this is just a school library. As you probably noticed, we only have access to the kids' books, which, have you guys heard about Christopher Columbus? And you're 13, so you probably only heard the fun version of Christopher Columbus.
He discovered America. Who hasn't heard of him?
Yeah, so...
I'm
I'm a history major in college, you see, and like I know a lot more about Lawrence Coswell, and I'm just gonna say I appreciate the pursuit of knowledge, so I don't just want to tell you it. But if you want like the real history of Lawrence Coswell, you might want to go to the public library where they have more books that are a bit more detailed in his life, as opposed to ghost stories you find on the internet in a book that has like one chapter about him.
How far away is the city library?
Oh, it's not that far. You can probably get there on your bikes. Maybe like a half hour, tops.
I definitely want to go to the city library today.
Hell yeah.
You have books to return.
I will grab my Pegasus and we shall go!
Sounds
Oh,
good.
my
So
God.
here's what you do have from that. She does give you the MapQuest direct. She prints it out. It takes 3 hours, but she prints out the MapQuest directions for you. So you do have the directions to the donkey house. However, if you would like to go to the public library first, that is an option.
Well, if it's going to take 3 hours, the public library is going to probably be closed by the time we get the MapQuest directions.
Does anybody know how to read cardinal directions? This is all north and northwest.
If we take a wrong turn, it can't help us.
Yeah, with the Red Heights woods, everybody kind of knows them in town. They're the big woods up to the north, but the problem is they're so big that you would probably want directions to get to the house.
Alright, sounds like the regular library is our next stop. Get some more details.
More deets. Alrighty. With that said, you guys make your way over to the public library. Let me Samson Strongbrook's public library. And as you walk through the doors that open up, you're greeted with this nice red, like, kind of warm lighting as, like, there's people going back and forth between the aisles. There's a lot of students because from your class that you recognize there because all of them are trying to, you know, do the assignment and stuff. So they're running back and forth between aisles, and you see some of them, like, acting out and getting really excited about what the movie they want to make is and everything like that. This older woman comes up to you and she greets you at the door, and she goes, "Oh, hello there, little people. How can I help you out today?"
I take offense to the little people thing.
Oh
Hi, big person. What's your name?
my name is... I didn't give her one.
Are
Christine.
you just an an overgrown child. Is this what this is, or is that what we're naming everybody?
I'm Christine, and I'm a child at heart, just like you kids. How can I help you today?
We were looking for books on Lawrence Coswell.
Oh, well, I know exactly where to find stuff about Lawrence Coswell. Follow me. And you can't help but notice that she starts leading you to the kids' aisle.
Christine, we already got the kids' book. We were hoping to get the other books from the grown-up section.
From the big people section.
From the overgrown kids section who are still kids at heart, but not really kids.
Oh, I don't know if those books are for you, guy. You're doing this for the school project that everyone's doing, right? I think these books will do just fine for you. So if anybody would like to, distract her or something like that, you might be able to find your own way to the books that you need.
When did Christine become from Wisconsin?
Now, right now. we're filling out Christine's backstory.
Happy.
She has a name. She's from somewhere.
Companions, to help our adventure, I will distract Christine, the big person.
The big person. All right, I want you to roll body sneak for me.
The rest of us, or
No, just him. Oh, actually, everybody.
okay.
Body sneak?
Yeah, because Mozzie's
And I'm
doing
gonna use my cloak to sneak.
That's fine. That's absolutely perfect. Add another dice for that.
1.
One, that's perfect.
I rolled 7 dice.
Nice.
No,
I got 2 6s, and on my skills, under body sneak, I have 2.
Oh, okay. So you got 2 6s?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so here's a cool thing about the thing. So Mozzie successfully has distracted, but to make sure you guys all get away, so Alicia got at least 1 6, but then an extra 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, did anybody else not get anything?
I got 0.
You got 0? Mike, how'd you do? You got 1?
Got
Okay, so here's a cool thing about Tales from the Loop, is that if you get extra successes, you can buy effects. And those effects are something that can come into effect. You spend basically whatever your extra successes are to do those, and they're only useful for that turn right there, so it's not like you can save them for later or anything. But because you rolled body sneak and you got an extra success, the 2 things that you can buy with those, so you can buy one of these, is you can give that effect to another kid, so you can make it so that Jean succeeds as well, or you can find something unexpected, or more of what you were looking for.
I think considering we're in the library, but so
I'm not gonna get in trouble. She's just gonna yell at me. It's fine.
I don't think she has the capacity to yell at kids.
Stakes are very low. You don't need to save me.
I mean,
She
if you
pulls
guys
out a gun.
That's old.
I mean, I'm
But,
going through the library yelling fire, so
Oh
I think she's
god.
bloody distracted.
Well, then also, it's like if she's from Wisconsin, if you guys remember the Louis Anderson show, the mom, who sounds just like that, she was never angry. So,
It
I
was
think-
impossible. Physically
Yeah.
impossible.
so if Jean's okay, so if Jean's okay with me using it on something else, then
You're gonna
I
find more of something or something unexpected.
yeah,
Okay,
let's
cool.
do that. Yeah.
So what happens is, Mozzie, you pull out, or Zero, you pull out your cape, and you go like, huh! And she goes, whoa, where did you go? And she's like playing along with it, like, oh my god, you vanished right in front of me. And,
You can't see me.
Jean starts to walk away, and everybody starts to go in different directions to kind of, break out. But unfortunately, Jean doesn't get away, and she goes, "Oh, let me show you where those books are, sweetie. Come over here." And she pulls Jean away to go to the kids' books and stuff. So, Jean unfortunately just finds the same 2. She actually finds the book that spooky book thing is from, but also just the same book you already found at the school library. However, everybody else, let me see what I can give you in here. All right, cool. How did you guys want to find stuff in the library? Robert, did you want to just go back on the computer again, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do it with Alicia first. I will give you. Where is it?
Who's Alicia?
I mean.
I don't know, but she sounds
Ashley,
super
that's
cool.
the one. it's...
Black ash.
Oh, actually, I could give you something even cooler. Okay. That's for kids. That's for kids.
By the way, earlier when I was saying I was yelling fire, I was casting fire spells.
Okay. Okay, so it's loading up.
Okay, I'll be right back. I just need to grab something.
Sure. In the meantime, I guess, Mike, I could give you the other thing you find.
Alright.
You find more about the house. So you find the second thing I'm about to send. And it is... There. It looks like the same thing, but it's actually a little bit different. It's more detailed, and not for kids, so it doesn't say spooky every sentence.
Oh, so adult. Let's see. 1926, Lawrence Coswell builds the Manse. What's Manse mean again?
It's a small...
With the help of his wife, Marcy Fitzgerald, 1934, Lawrence Coswell returned home one night after the expedition. He had witnessed the death of one of his colleagues in his recent outing, and some say that strain was just too much for him. That night, Lawrence murdered his wife before putting a bullet in his head. 1954, the Ansfield family purchased the manse and lived there for roughly 8 years before mounting debts caused them to move out. 1964, Arthur murdered his family and then goes missing. 1979, the Franklins move into the empty manse. Martha Franklin dies in her sleep in 1982 of natural causes. Henry lives for another 7 months before also passing away in his favorite chair by the fireplace on the second floor. The house remained abandoned until present day, where it's considered a haunted house by local children. Hey, we're local children.
That's us.
Although they know it as the donkey house due to the donkeys that the Franklins carved into the front doors. There, an answer to the question.
Alrighty, and then
Robert, I think there's another page going farther back into the history.
Is there?
What?
Wait.
I'm looking over your shoulder.
I thought Zero was distracting Christine.
Yeah, you're not here. Shut up. All right.
You're metagaming.
And
I thought Christine was showing Gene where the books were.
No. Ash, if you want to read the thing right before, it looks like it just says 1890 Lawrence Coswell is the first line, and it's just a bunch of strings of text.
Okay, so read all of it.
If you want, I could probably sum up the important parts for you.
I'm going to quickly grab a refill, but I'll read it.
Yeah, no problem. Let's see.
This is a lot of reading. I don't think a troublemaker would really want to read all of this out loud.
Yeah, true. Here, I'll skim it and tell you the parts that are good. 1924, 1926, and 1934. Those ones are the important ones.
There are two 1924, so both of them?
Yeah, both of them.
Okay, so basically the bottom half.
Basically, to summarize the first ones, he went on a bunch of expeditions and horrible things happened on every single one of them.
Lewis and Clark. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Alright, the first 1924. Lawrence Coswell is part of the expedition to Australia's outback. It is here, combined with a strain of traumatic events from previous expeditions, where he witnesses something to cause him to decide to seek mental help at Danvers State Mental Institution. Although what it was is never known. 1924. Lawrence Coswell manages to escape a localized earthquake at Danvers State Mental Institution in Salem, Massachusetts, with the help of his nephew, Sebastian Goodsir. He sounds like a good sir.
Maybe.
Lawrence was hospitalized with major injuries but managed to recover with time. Sebastian Goodsir's biography also about his uncle, The Demented Days of Danvers, seems to paint a largely fictional tale on what happened that night and has since been labeled nonfiction as a result. 1934. Lawrence left retirement and joined an expedition to the Amazon led by Arthur Cornthwaite.
Yeah, it's a dumb name.
Corn sweet. It goes horribly, although records don't say how, and some of the expedition crew died. Lawrence returns home, affected by the trip, murders his wife, and kills himself. Sebastian Goodsir then writes his novel about his uncle in memoriam.
Alrighty, and because you found something unexpected, I'm gonna give you The Demented Days of Danvers as a book. However, it is a long read, and you would need time to yourself in order to actually read it. But just note that you have it, and that if there's time, because you're sleeping over somewhere potentially, you can read it before bed or something. Or hand it to somebody else who likes to read. But you do have the book mentioned in that article because you're like, oh, hey, it was like somebody had actually put it right next to that book, so you have it in hand.
I don't know if I know anybody that likes to read, though.
Not a single person in this group.
Excuse me. I took the dog outside again, so I turned off my video to not be distracting, but I'm still here.
That's
It was like, Gina looks like she's not moving. Oh, it's because it's a picture of her.
She's invisible. She's standing so still that I can't even see her. Alrighty, and with that, would anybody like to do anything else at the public library?
What's the name of the book called again? Because I'm going to write it down.
The Demented Days of Danvers. Write library edition next to it.
Okie dokie.
And was there anything, if there was anything in those articles or things that you found that you would like to further investigate, you have the option to.
I would like to know what Antarctica is.
It's a place that's really cold. You find the extended history of Antarctica. November 26th, still cold. My God, it's cold. My nipples fell right off.
Oh my.
This is November 26th, year 1 AD.
Year 1 AD. Still fucking cold. I can't believe it. You'd think one day it would get warm or some shit, but it doesn't.
I was hoping after Jesus Christ.
You broke him. Okay. Did he go on these expeditions? Can we see if we can find out if he went on these expeditions alone? Or no. One of them says that some people died, but is anybody still alive?
You can find a whole bunch of stuff about Everett Breckenridge, but that's because they've made a billion movies on him. He's basically, imagine him like Indiana Jones. They've basically made a whole bunch of movies about that guy, and he stars in them and everything. So he's kind of super famous. Everybody knows a lot about him. But I'll let you know right now, he's not important to what you're doing, and I have nothing written for him. So
I would like to know who learn who Ursula Downs is.
I played as her in Arkham Horror the card game. It's a reference that I like to have. She does nothing.
I mean, I'm good. I want to go see this donkey house.
Curious now.
How far away is the Danvers State Mental Institution?
It's in Salem, so it's in a completely different state. You wouldn't be able to get there.
Where are we?
You guys are in Michigan. Danvers is in Salem, in Massachusetts.
Okay.
So you're not gonna. There's no way to get in there.
We'll not be riding our bikes there.
Yeah.
I mean, we could try.
But
could do anything.
Companions, seriously, I really need a Snickers or a Twix. It's getting late. I haven't eaten since lunch. My blood sugar's low.
Do you guys want to do a video presentation? Does anybody's parents have a camcorder we could borrow? And then we can record tomorrow?
I don't have any.
One of you can just make that up on the fly.
My parents probably have it then.
Do you use
so
it
maybe
for
we
anything?
could meet at the Donkey House tomorrow to record our presentation?
Yeah, they won't miss it.
And stealing from them wouldn't be all that unusual, as I understand it.
It's not stealing if I give it back.
Fair.
Working. Yeah, tomorrow sounds fine.
Alrighty. So as you guys are about to leave the library, there's a notorious bully who sees on Robert's computer it says Donkey House, and he's looking up stuff about it. And he, as like kind of a jerk bully, comes up behind Robert, looks over, pats you on the shoulder, and looks over, and he's like, "Oh, you guys thinking about going to the Donkey House?"
I come by and I'm like, yeah, you want to come?
No, I go there all the time though. You guys thinking about doing the Donkey Dare?
Well, maybe you've got some tips for us if you go there all the time.
Yeah, you better bring like a big shovel or something to hit stuff with, because there's ghosts on that place. It's scary.
How do you hit ghosts with a shovel?
I don't know, I don't think about it. What about you? But yeah, I've done the Donkey Dare maybe like 17 times now. It's no big deal.
Zero, the Lightbringer, ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Oh, Zero's here. He kind of scoots away a little bit. He's like, but I bet you wusses won't spend the night in the Donkey House. You guys couldn't do it.
Cool, thanks for stopping by.
He just goes, "Okay, I'll see you nerds later," and he heads out. But yes, would you guys...
I think that guy's gonna make something of himself later on.
He's gonna go someplace.
Valedictorian, I think.
It reminds me of somebody named Biff. I don't know why.
He sounds like a Biff.
But yeah, his...
Is that the bully from Back to the Future?
It is.
Yeah, that was Kyle Banner. Everyone knows him as the Clown Dick. The Clown Dick of crime.
He's just a dick with the clown face on.
At all times. But yes, so if you guys just wanted to do this the next day, then?
Yeah.
Seriously, I need some food.
Okay, well, with that said, you guys can go home for the night, do, your normal night things. If you want, you can prepare stuff to bring with you to the Donkey House. If you were thinking about staying the night or something, you can bring, like, stuff to sleep over. Or if you, food or flashlights or anything like that. If you can think of it, let me know what you're thinking of bringing and write it down now. And you can pretend you're all on a three-way call on your landlines, or a four-way call on your landlines, talking about what you should bring like that night.
Oh man, trying to figure out the conference call thing from back in the day.
Yeah.
Trying to pay for the conference call thing back in the day.
I think I did that once in my entire life. It was such a pain in the ass. Zero's calling collect. But yeah, what are you guys thinking about bringing?
Do not accept charge. Well, definitely flashlight. And since I'm providing a camera, so definitely extra batteries.
Oh, good idea.
A jacket, because a jacket's always a good idea.
That you can just have on you if you want.
Flashlight's a good idea, because even during the day, a spooky old house is going to be dark.
It's spooky.
Spooky.
It's spooky.
My younger sister, Raven the Midnight Enchantress, gave me a curse-repelling troll doll.
All right.
I also pack a couple Snickers.
Oh, there you go.
I'm bringing another flashlight and some snacks and a water bottle. I am not planning to spend the night, so I don't have a sleeping bag or whatever.
Oh, damn.
Ooh, water bottle. Yeah, I was thinking.
I'm bringing some holy water from my house / church.
Alrighty. And is that everybody all set to go then?
Yeah, plus water bottle, so I'm good. How about you, Robert?
Yeah, snacks, water, flashlight. Trying to think if there'd be anything useful to bring to have inside the house, like
I was
for
gonna say,
exploring the
also,
house.
you guys are filming a movie there, so if you want stuff to film the movie with, too.
Trying to think. Oh, a fake gun would be good of some kind. Does one of us have like a BB gun or something?
I have my wand.
Not a gun. And not a
Better than a gun.
Zero, can you conjure up a gun?
Yes.
Oh my. Oh wow.
It can be bigger than a house.
A manse? Bigger than a manse?
Not bigger than a manse. That's like, it's a baby
Well, that's too
mansion.
big.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Oh yeah, could I bring like a BB gun or something?
Yeah, sure. If you got one, I would think that you probably do. You're kind of like a hacker and stuff, so that makes sense.
Did a lot of hackers have BB guns?
I don't know. Just
I
seems
do.
Right. Actually, I feel like the troublemaker would probably have it out of everybody.
Okay, so should I
Okay.
just bring a big backpack of stuff?
Probably.
Okay,
We're
I'll
warned
bring
it
it.
was dangerous, so
I'm gonna bring my water bottle. My water gun, my super soaker, and I'm gonna bring canisters of hot sauce, holy water,
I was gonna say ketchup.
and slime from Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon slime, perfect.
Yeah, I'll bring ketchup for making fake blood.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Alrighty, and I guess with that all said, we can cut to the next day. What time do you guys think you would probably try to leave to get there?
5 o'clock.
At
We're gonna
night?
stay the night. We're staying the night, right?
I thought we would just go after school.
Well, it's Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
The next day.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't have Saturday school this week.
Bravo.
I don't know. Leave sometime like midday. Because it's
Midday.
Saturday. You don't want to
don't need
get
an
Saturday
exact
mornings for
time.
cartoons, so.
You gotta watch your cartoons. You gotta get your shows in. Dragon Ball Z's on. Alrighty. So with that said, you leave about midday. I want to say maybe it's probably around like 3 or so. And you arrive, basically you ride your bikes to, there's like, if you've ever been to a forest preserve, you know how sometimes there's like a parking lot that everybody kind of, the directions lead to. And then from there you can probably hike because the forest is just too thick to ride your bikes through. So you get to the parking lot and you see the forest in front of you. And I want, who thinks they're going to be a good enough leader in this situation to navigate the map quest to get to the grounds?
By the way, it should go without saying, because I have them on me all the time, I do have my fireworks and smoke bombs,
Oh, of
just
course.
to make
Yeah,
sure that's clear.
that's your thing. Yeah.
And lighter to light the smoke bomb.
Yeah.
I think either, I don't know.
I like playing support
G-
roles.
Yeah.
I was gonna vote Ashley. She seems like she's been into a lot of shenanigans and gets lost and finds her way out.
Seems fair.
Sounds right.
Alrighty, so with that being said, Ash, I want you to roll Heart Lead. And I also want you to add one more dice to that because your companions seem to believe in you.
Okay, so that's 2 dice.
Power of friendship.
Oh boy.
I got 1 6.
Yeah, that's all you needed. So, it takes you a little bit, so you didn't like super duper duper succeed. You did succeed enough though. So it takes a little bit longer to get to the donkey house than you probably anticipated, like a couple hours or so, because there's just a lot of woods and it's a very secluded house, like way deep in the woods. So it starts to, like, sun's starting to kind of come down by the time you get there. And after walking through the Red Heights woods for a long time, the foliage getting denser and more twisted as you get closer to your destination, you even pass what used to be part of the grounds, ruins of a stone gate or a garden planter here and there, now laid to time and overgrowth. Finally, you push away a gnarled patch of thorn bush, and you see it. The donkey house. You can guess that a good chunk of this forest used to be part of the grounds for this estate, now left to time. The house itself looks forgotten. The front door, its twin donkeys still visible despite having graffiti and vines growing on it, is off its hinges but jammed in place due to debris and foliage. The windows, some look completely overgrown, but others, the glass and window panes, lay on the bushes outside of the house, which allow you to peer into its dark expanse. The house itself is slightly crooked, as if its foundation can't support it anymore, and the whole thing looks structurally on edge. It is a silent house, and the October sky doesn't help it make it seem less foreboding.
This castle has seen some better days.
Yeah. Within this clearing for the house, you see some empty planters for the garden, a broken iron gate, a shed can be seen towards the back of behind the house, and a quick inspection reveals that the front door is too blocked to use and the windows are just high enough that you kids would need some assistance to get into them. And the back door is jammed, but can possibly be broken in with some help. And there's a cellar door on the side of the house, although it has a thick wood and an iron lock on it.
Did anybody bring a crowbar?
I left it in my other cloak.
Shoot.
If anybody would like to roll, let's see, probably comprehend, mind comprehend.
My fireworks can my spells can blow open a lock. And so maybe we could get into the cellar, but those doors, Zero to Lightbringer has very low strength.
I think we can all work on opening the doors if you can magic open the lock.
Alrighty. So you wanted to try and break the lock on the cellar, you said?
Yes, use my spell, my explosion spell, and blow it open.
Alrighty, use body
AKA
force.
my firework.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're just gonna use body force and then add an extra dice for your iconic item.
Dave, you said to roll mind comprehend.
Yeah.
I rolled and got 3 6s.
Fuck.
Wow.
Alrighty, so here's what you can do. Because you can buy additional things, you get 1 additional bit of information, and you take +1 die on 1 roll when you use that information. So, something that you notice when you're looking around, Gene, is that something almost immediately stands out as a little strange. Besides the usual foliage that you would find in a Pacific Northwest town, there appears to be a few spots where tropical plants are growing. And it seems odd for a number of reasons, one being this is Michigan, but especially because it's October in Michigan, and you also notice what looks like relatively new tire tracks.
I want to go investigate the tropical plants.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, they're like birds of paradise and stuff like that, and they seem like they've been, like, not planted. Like, they're growing almost naturally out of the ground, which makes damn near no sense considering where you are. You've read enough books, and you know that, like, I mean, you lived in Michigan your whole life. You've never seen a plant like this grow naturally. You've only seen them at your, like, friends' houses and stuff. So it's just kind of weird that there's, like, a couple tropical plants growing. The other thing that you notice because what's it called? You super succeeded is that when you peer around the back of the house, the shed door is, like, swinging open a little bit in the wind. But, that said, before you can act on it, Zero, what'd you do?
I got 2 6s and 4 3s.
Well, the 3s don't matter.
But it was still cool.
But it's still pretty cool, yeah. So, 2 6s, you said?
Yes.
Alright. So, so here's what you do. So you succeeded, but the effects that you can buy for forcing something open are, you can either give a success to another kid, which doesn't really apply here. You can impress, frighten, or humiliate your friends. Pin your... that's not something. You would not need to roll to overcome something like this in the future, so if you decide to blow open another lock, you wouldn't need to roll for it. Or you avoid collateral damage.
I'm going to frighten my friends because my powers are so immensely powerful.
So what happens is you basically put a firework in there and you light it, but it's like way too close to the wick, so you weren't anticipating it going off like that. So it just blows the lock right off, but it also snaps at your fingers a little bit and you burn yourself just a little bit. Give yourself 1 condition in... let's say injured. And there's ways to heal that. Like, say you find some water or something, you can dip your hands in it to cool your hands. Stuff like that.
I'm just trying to figure out where do I mark that.
Oh, it's underneath. Well, yours is a little different because you printed it out, but it would be underneath attributes. There's a box called conditions, and then there's one that says injured, and you can check that.
Okay, I just see experience after that.
It's somewhere on there. Keep looking for it.
I'll just make note of it on the back.
Okay.
What are these conditions? 1, you said?
You have 1 condition in injured specifically because you can't double up in conditions. So.
Okay.
But that means whenever you go to roll, you're going to have -1 to your dice pool.
But I look really cool.
You thought you did. What you really did was
all
just
that
scare the
matters
shit
to
out
me.
of everyone because you almost blew your damn fingers off. But
Zero the Lightbringer is all powerful.
So the lock is smoking. There's like a hole, like kind of where the lock used to be on the cellar door. With that said, you guys can do whatever you want to do.
Guys, the shed looks like it's open. I'm gonna go look at it real quick.
Okay, good luck, don't die.
Alrighty.
You can do it, fellow adventurer.
You say as you're like kissing your fingers because it stings so bad. So, you walk up to a windowless garden shed. It's a small wooden and peeling in green color. Its door hangs slightly ajar. There's a sinister air emanating from the shack. Its door swings very slightly anytime a small breeze hits it.
Wait, I'm confused. Are we at the cellar or the shack? We're at the cellar.
Jean is going towards the shack. You guys are kind of
okay.
convening at the cellar door right now, but she's going to investigate the shack first. So you're alone at the shack.
This is very ominous, but I'm gonna open the shack door. Maybe I'll kick it, just in case.
Just in case. You don't have to roll for anything because I already said it was already breezing in the wind, so it's not like it takes much. But you feel pretty confident as you kick it open. It is funny because you kick it the wrong way. It actually shuts because it's a pull door, but then because of the force of it, it just opens anyway because of that. So you go, yeah! All right.
Way to use an enhancement, Gene!
Within its darkness is a litter of leaves and detritus on the floor. There are many tools: a rake, a wheelbarrow, shovels, a hedge clippers, a pick, a saw, and a step stool. Some have fallen into the floor. All are disused, dirty, and falling apart. There is a space on the wall that holds a faint outline of an axe. However, there is no axe where it should be.
Yikes. Sorry, did Zero open the door, or is it still closed?
He got the cellar open.
Okay, so I'll just go back and be like, hey guys, there are a bunch of tools in case we need it later, but I'll just leave them for now. If you guys want to grab a shovel or anything. Also, it looks like there was an axe missing.
Fearless
I'm
leader?
gonna assume it was the older high school kids being weird and scary.
There you go. That's a good way to calm your mind. So, the cellar
What do
door
you think,
is...
fearless leader?
Oh, I feel like I heard somewhere that shovels can attack ghosts, so...
You can go grab a shovel if you want. Also, if we wanted to go through the cellar, we can do that, or we could use the step stool to go through a window. I don't know.
If the shovel is made of iron, I have read in the lore that iron can dissipate ghosts.
Really getting into that shovel thing, huh?
How can we
Really
tell if
digging
it's
deep
made
in
out of iron? I mean, I go grab the shovel, and I bring it back, and then I ask, how can we tell if it's iron?
This sounds like a conversation a bunch of 13-year-olds would have, though.
Unfortunately, I haven't maxed out my metallurgy, so I cannot cast the spell to learn that.
Okay, well, I guess you can be the shovel holder, and if a ghost comes towards us, then swing at it real hard and see what happens.
Actually, leader, can I give it to Robert? I need to have my hands free. Also, my hands hurt.
Why?
Fine, I'll take your shovel.
You have my shovel.
You have my shovel. Alright. And you said that there's a step stool in there, so...
Well, the cellar door is open now.
Yeah, but I guess like the next thing is like, do we want to go through the cellar, or do we want to try to go through one of the windows that you mentioned earlier?
It's just going through the cellar. It's already open. It's easier than climbing in through a half-broken window.
Fair.
I agree.
Alrighty. So you pull open the cellar doors, and they're very heavy, so it takes like 2 of you to open them. And you get in there, and what you notice, the first thing you notice is that just a bunch of darkness and black dust kicks up when you open up the cellar door.
Do you have your flashlight?
I do. I turn my flashlight on and point it into the darkness.
It doesn't seem to really cut through the darkness. It's almost like something else is in there, causing it to be dark, besides just no light. Like, there's, like, kind of like a dust coming out of the door as you open it up. And when it kind of starts to clear, as the wind kind of starts sucking air out of the cellar, you start to realize that this is a coal cellar, and it's just a bunch of coal dust that's coming up through the air.
It's a fog of war.
I don't really want to get the black lung, you guys, so maybe we could try the window.
Not today.
Yep. The window's sounding better and better all the time.
So do you just leave the coal cellar open, or what do you do?
Yeah, leave it open. See
Alright.
if the window uncovers anything.
Sure.
It
Yeah.
just sits right.
Air it out a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so while that's happening, you said something about going through a window?
Yeah. So
One
how?
of the overgrown windows.
Yeah. How high above us is it?
High enough that you would need something to get into the windows. Like, you would need some sort of assistance to get up there. It wouldn't just be like you can jump and get it.
You mean like
Are
a
there any-
stool?
Maybe like a fucking stool. Probably a stool. Stool seems pretty good.
All right, Jean, get on my shoulders.
I'm gonna go grab the step stool.
All right, if you insist. Yes, got someone to do my bidding.
Awesome. So, really quick, Gene, while you're in the
Shed.
grabbing the stool, go ahead and roll me 1 dice.
1 dice?
Just 1, yeah.
Or a die?
It's a 3.
Okay, you're fine. Don't worry about it. So you grab the step stool.
Fine from what?
Who knows?
Okay.
Expect us to metagame like that.
Could have been anything.
Okay, I got the step stool. I don't want to go first.
You,
So as
you
you're
trip
running-
over and hit a rusty nail.
You're running
I
back
hope so.
from the what's it called? The shed, and you get closer to the group, and behind you, you hear a loud, like, slam. That doesn't sound great. But, like, you hear, like, a loud slam, and when you look behind you, you notice that the garden shed has closed shut.
Well, that's weird.
Maybe just the wind. So
Nice enhancement spell.
Nice enhancements. Alrighty, so you're back with the group, and you have the step stool.
All right,
more-
let's find a window we can get in through now.
That-
I'm
you
not
can-
really a tank roll, so I don't think I should climb in first.
There is definitely
Or
one that's
DPS.
easy to spot as open and accessible via the step stool.
Okay, well, I think, Slicer was real eager to go into the cellar, so maybe he'd be eager to go into the window.
I do have the shovel of defense. I can go in through the window first.
+5 to defense.
What does it even mean? Alrighty. So you put the step stool down. Does everybody just follow him?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
follow him, yeah.
So, Robert, I want you to roll lead. Heart lead.
Heart lead, all right.
I'm
0.
very happy I didn't leave.
What'd you do?
0. None.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So you get in, and then you accidentally, you're trying to, lift your leg over the window, and you accidentally clip, a piece of broken glass that was sitting there, and it nicks you in the leg. But it kind of comes with you, so you've, made it so that everybody else can kind of get through the window relatively safe, but you did hurt yourself in the process. So give yourself a check mark in injured.
Yes, keeping everyone safe through clumsiness.
I feel like every time someone says 0, Mossy, you just say, did someone say my name?
What? This one. Okay, I'm going to send you guys a picture of the map of the downstairs, which is the main floor of the Coswell Manse. So that's what it says, okay, so it says Fitzgerald Mansion, and that's because I changed the name. Don't... Well, actually, it technically is the Fitzgerald Mansion because they're the last people to own it, but the Coswell Mansion, the Donkey House, is what I've been calling it.
What's a mansion?
It's kind of like a adult manse. However, that all being said, you guys...
We should go to the cloakroom.
You would. So, the way you guys enter the house is you enter via the library window. So when you get in, the library has like these kind of dull green tones all over the place, and it's an abandoned house, and kids come here to be rowdy all the time and stuff like that. So it's kind of seen better days. There's books just everywhere. The shelves are knocked over. There's graffiti all over the walls, and you find yourself in the library. Let me see
If anybody sees a candlestick, be careful.
it could be anything.
I'm gonna need more than that.
What?
What is wrong with the candlestick?
Oh, I don't know. He made
Just
that up.
saying, I used to know a guy. His name was Colonel Mustard, and it wasn't a good experience.
It wasn't a good experience.
Like he's gonna start singing and asking me if I want food.
But yes, as far as what else is in this room, I mean, you can choose to investigate if you want, but there's a door that leads to the parlor and a door that leads to the hallway from here.
Hey guys, my fellow adventurers, I'm not great with books. I'd be cool to move on.
I feel like we have someone who is good with books, though. So maybe we
I'm
should.
just gonna do a quick browse of the books.
I
Yeah.
was
Why
gonna say,
don't?
this is probably exciting. These are all like historical books and stuff. They've been here forever. Roll mind investigate.
The only books I like are magic novels and D&D manuals.
Just the manual stuff.
You turn on game, push the button. If the game has been turned on, press start.
I got 2 6s.
2 6s. Okay, so you get
Up,
to
up,
ask
down,
two
down,
questions.
left, right.
The questions you can ask are that work for here is what is hidden here and what is it? What happened here? And what threats can I perceive here? Those are probably the 3
Oh,
questions
boy.
that you can ask.
I feel like what happened here isn't as useful because it's mostly drunk high schoolers most recently. What's hidden here could be the dead people stuff or threats would be useful.
Dead people stuff. Okay, so you wanted to do the other 2 instead of what happened here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Gene is very wise.
So, as far as what's hidden here, you're looking around and you see like some pretty neat things that you could probably use as props in your movie that you have to make. There's like a bunch of like expedition journals from Lawrence Coswell. You notice none of them are from the dates mentioned in any of the research you guys did because those ones were maybe just too traumatic or people have stolen them or something. But as you're looking on the shelves and you're seeing all these cool expedition journals and just journals about geology and geography and stuff like that and just places he's been and everything, your foot kicks something and you recognize it, and it is The Demented Days of Danvers, which is another copy of the book that Ash has. However, it's open to its front page and you notice something is handwritten inside of it.
Definitely reading it.
Alrighty, and this is short enough that I could just send it to you now. So, I'll just put it in the main thing. I think that's fine.
Hey, Ashley. I just
Yeah.
realized we should probably have done some establishing shots when we were outside the mansion for our film.
And there you go. So, Gene, if you want to read that.
I miss you, Uncle Larry. I wish I could have saved you again. You're the bravest man I've ever known. I'm saddened that this world became too much for you. If only I could find your expedition journal. My failure to satisfy my curiosity on why it came to this, why you had to end your own life, why you had to take Aunt Marcy with you will haunt me to the end of my days. Say hi to Murph for me. From Goody. Okay, let me remind myself about these names.
Goody is a nickname. That's Sebastian Goodsir who wrote that book.
Oh, okay.
How many shoes does Goody have?
What?
Does he have 2 shoes?
Dude.
Is this the person? Is that the person who made those rubber bands, the goody rubber bands?
It could be. I don't
That's
know
a
any
solid
of these
reference.
people. I'm gonna take this off.
Does anybody, hey, my fellow adventurers, does anybody else find it weird that he's writing a letter to his dead, to his dead uncle?
For what it's worth, if you remember the thing that Ash read, he wrote that book in memoriam of his uncle and then gave it to his uncle's house, essentially.
Okay, got it. That makes
Because
more
the house
sense.
is alive.
Could be, we don't know.
If we find a uvula, it's a girl house.
It's a girl house.
And if you find a cloaca,
It's not quite a mansion. It's more like a baby mansion. Alrighty. And with that said, the other thing you asked was, what threats can I perceive here? Out of the corner of your eye, as you start to put the book down, you notice behind Ash and Robert, as they're kind of like looking around, they don't see it, but you see something kind of like skitter across the floor really quick outside of the doorway.
Oh no, thank you.
fireball!
Oh,
Throw one of my
You're gonna
fireworks
set
at
the
it.
whole thing on fire.
Throw one of
I
my
think
fireworks
I saw
at it.
a cat or some rats or something, you guys, so be careful.
This would be coming
think
from
I've
the
got a
main
shovel.
hall.
I wasn't scared at all, guys.
Alrighty, with that, I want to say, just to kind of keep things moving along, this room is exhausted.
All right.
So am I.
The hallway.
You want to walk out in the hallway?
Yep.
There was
With my
also the
shovel.
parlor. We had the option for the parlor too.
I don't know. I'm kind of curious about the cloakroom.
Same.
Okay.
Also, guys, I just want to mention that Molly's in the room right now. Very
Hi,
confused.
Molly.
Hi, Mom.
Especially when I said cloaca, she was very.
And yeah, who has the camera, by the way, just to kind of bring that back in a little bit?
I still have the camera.
Actually-
Yeah, I still have the camera because we haven't taken out to do the establishing shots as Zero had mentioned. So I guess I
Maybe
probably
we
should
should-
take it out now.
Just saying, if we want a good film.
Get some cool B-roll.
Yeah, it's good to
Yeah.
know where we are. I'm just
Some behind the scenes.
It would be cool to get a shot of the book we found because it has the handwritten note.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I take a shot of the handwritten note.
Nice. Cool as hell. Alright. So with that, they're taking. So Gene and Ash are taking video of the book. Robert and Zero, did you want to go out into the main hall while they're doing that?
Yep.
Just kind of keep exploring.
I'll
get
be
your
right
bearings
behind
first.
you. I'll be right behind you, Robert.
I have my shovel readied.
And I have my super stoker full of hot sauce.
Is that your fireball?
No, but I said like I brought the super stoker with Nickelodeon slime, holy water, and Tabasco sauce
Oh,
canisters.
that was all mixed together.
No, they're separate canisters. I poured hot sauce in this one.
That's amazing. Alrighty, so you step out into the main hall, and it's severely run down. Really quick, because you're the first one to walk out of the room, roll body move. Move that body.
And if we're injured, we do one less, right?
Yeah, so I'm only rolling 2.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
got-
because you're injured. That's right.
Yeah,
I
I
got
normally roll 3. I only rolled 2. I didn't get any 6s.
So you didn't get any 6s. So what happens is you walk out into the main hall.
I got 1 6.
Oh, you're fine. You didn't have to roll. It's just
Oh.
whoever was the first one to leave the room,
Sorry.
and you specifically mentioned that you were behind Robert. So, so you're walking out into the main hall, and you're like looking around, like, "Wow, this is amazing!" And then as you walk out, just this gigantic, gross, wet piece of plaster from the ceiling above you just drops and just drenches you, and you're
Ugh.
just covered in this like gross, like old house, like just bits and pieces. And I want to say that makes you pretty upset.
I was
So
about to
put
say,
that
I'm
as a-
giving myself the upset condition because
Yeah,
I feel
it's just
upset
like
right
when you're
now.
cold and you're like, there might be bugs crawling in it, and you're like,
Ugh.
it just
Robert, I'm sorry. I don't know why my shield charm didn't work.
And yeah, like I said, if you guys wanted to take like a character moment to heal these things, you can do that. So it's not like you just have to live with being upset or live with being
okay. I put some of the holy water in my super soaker and put it on my fingers.
That actually would, because you did singe your fingers, so it would probably feel pretty good. So I want to say, before you just heal yourself, roll Tech Tinker for that.
Okay. Okay. So I still have though the injury before doing this. So I still lose 1.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, 1.
Okay, so that gave you a success. So you did it. You kind of you didn't use all of your holy water because it wasn't you weren't too badly burned, but you did heal that little singe that you got. And that's what's distracted you long enough that Robert just got drenched by the house. But as you're sitting there kind of recovering and you get over it, like you kind of your shirt and stuff is still wet, and that's what's covering you and making you upset, and you got like gross little bits on you. You look around this room, and if you look at the map, you can tell that there's a staircase that leads to an upper floor, and then a big hallway that has a few doors in it, and you're in the main part where it says hall. There's a bunch of debris and stuff and a tree growing out of where the front door is. So the front door is completely inaccessible. It's just got like there's just a friggin' tree growing out of it. So and there's just debris and like vandalism and just graffiti all over the place. You notice that everything's just kind of dripping a little bit because it's just wet for some reason. And when you notice the wetness due to it being shockingly present on your body at this point, you notice that it actually kind of started raining outside a little bit, just a little bit, enough that it's starting to drip through the ceiling and everything. So
this reminds me of the first orphanage I lived in.
Oh, sad. And yeah, so you're in the main hall. There's a broken chandelier precariously hanging in the middle of the room, and just detritus all over the room.
So to the cloakroom?
All you.
With that said, Ash and Jean, what did you want to do? Did you want to catch up with them, or did you want to go somewhere else?
I'm still just looking for cool shots from my book report, so what looks
Eyes
the
on the
coolest?
prize. Well, you probably got a couple cool shots in the library for just like B-roll stuff that you're going to edit later somehow. If you wanted, the hall's probably got some pretty cool shots. The parlor could be neat, but you would probably want to like stage a scene in there. But yeah, like the hall, you could just get some cool like sweeping shots of the house in because it's the main room of the house. So
Yeah, I get some of that indoor tree action.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's not where trees grow.
We'll do our best to do some linear editing.
Yeah. The guys start making their way over the cloakroom. Jean, you noticed, because you noticed this earlier, some of those tropical plants are growing inside the main hall, too. They're just kind of growing through the floorboards and everything like that. And they're coming out of the walls and everything, and they're getting some of that rain that you see trickling down from the ceiling and everything. I want you to roll Investigate really quick. Or, not Investigate, Comprehend. Mind Comprehend.
By the way, Robert, I wiped some of the stuff off your shoulder.
Just help him clean him.
Oh, thank
I
you.
got 2 6s.
2 6s. Okay, so here's what's cool. You're looking around, and you notice something on the floor next to the tree, because you're filming it, right? Or you're kind of with Ash, and you're both kind of filming it, and eyes on the prize and everything like that.
They're both holding the camera.
And, Jean, what you notice on the floor, and I'm going to send you this in a private message. You can choose whether or not you want to share this, but it's going to be a private message on, why did we send each other a million thumbs ups? But you find this lying on the floor next to the front entrance. And you can just kind of describe it to everybody if you wanted to share it. You don't have to show them the picture or anything. If it would load... There, okay. And then while you're kind of looking at that, I'll move on to the cloakroom. So, who wants to lead the cloakroom?
Not me.
I'll lead. I feel slightly responsible that my shield charm didn't work.
You're the one who's most excited about it too.
I am. I really need a new one.
I really need a new one.
You're gonna steal from dead people?
They're not necessarily dead. Maybe they have visitors.
They're definitely dead.
They just forgot them.
So you open the door, and when you look into the room, you see a giant man holding an axe staring right back at you. I'm kidding. There's a cloak hanging from the wall. And it, like, at first glance, that's exactly what you thought it was. And you, like, but then it turns out it's just, like, a bunch of coats.
Oh, man, military surplus coats.
If you want, roll, let's say, roll mind investigate. Or comprehend.
Alright, I'll do mind investigate, comprehend 0. And I healed up, right? So I don't have any conditions?
Yeah, you only had the one, right? You only burnt your hands,
Yeah,
you
I
didn't
only
get
had the
scared or anything?
Yeah. 4 4s, no zeros.
No zeros? That's
No
fine.
Bs.
Quick glance, they're just a bunch of really old coats. Some of them are pretty neat. Maybe you can use them as costumes for your movie. Maybe you could just keep them. They're cool. That's all I got for you, because you didn't succeed, so.
I'm gonna bring one back to Raven, my sister.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Zero, is there anything in those pockets?
Let's see. Yeah. There's a switchblade.
No, I'm cool with that. If you want to say you got a switchblade, sure.
I totally know how to handle this.
Oh, God. You're going to get that injury right back.
And I lose a finger.
Have you guys ever seen, did you see Jojo Rabbit? The
Not
part where
yet.
they're playing with the knives and one of them just throws a tree and it dinks off and lands right in his leg. And he just goes, oh!
I really liked that
It
movie.
was such a good movie. I watched it on the plane.
Movie was this? I didn't hear.
Jojo Rabbit. It's made by, what's his name? The guy who did...
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, Taika Waititi
Oh, cool.
is hilarious, and he makes a movie set in Nazi Germany, and you don't think it would work, but it totally works.
Yeah, it's so good. But anyway, so that being said, they got startled by coats. So you have that thing. Did you see it in your private messages?
Yeah, so I'll just be like, oh, that's cool. I just like point at it. It's like a concrete plaque, but it's just like a little piece of it, and it says EST, like established, but that's all it says.
Even better, it is not a concrete plaque. It is a torn badge, like one of those badges you can kind of put on your backpack. It looks like a little bit of a torn badge.
Okay. It's smaller than, there's no perspective, so.
Yeah, I'd realize that now.
No, it's fine.
But yeah, no, so it's probably about like, well, it's only half of it because it looks like it's torn, so it's probably like that big. So you can keep it if you want. It's a souvenir.
Yeah, sure. I'll put it in my pocket.
Alrighty, and so all of you are still.
By the way, I offer Robert the switchblade.
He's the tank now.
You don't offer him a new jacket, you just offer him another weapon.
How am I gonna hold all these weapons?
I mean, I have a super soaker that takes 2 hands. So.
Only if I brought some duct tape, I could tie the knife to the shovel.
Oh my god.
Hey, this other guy's pocket has duct. No,
This is so much stuff. Alrighty, but that leaves you guys in the main hall. The rain is starting to come down a little bit more.
Maybe we should find a room that's a little more dry so we can do some more recording.
Should we meet back up with Ashley and Jean?
They're like
Well, they're near the
pretty
front
much
door,
right
so-
behind you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we bet back up. Okay. I thought they went to the parlor for some reason.
Oh no, they're in the main hall. They were taking pictures of they were taking a video of the front door.
Yeah, I mean, I am. So, all right. So, we got to put ourselves in Lawrence Caldwell's shoes. First off, should one of us play Lawrence Caldwell?
Hell yeah, man.
I mean, I think we should
this video
assign
project
roles.
seriously, boys.
I think we should assign some roles for this.
Maybe one of us can be Lawrence, and then one can be the nephew.
Sir Goody or Goody Sir.
Goody? Yeah.
Yeah.
and then one person has to run the camera.
Yeah.
Well, I can run the camera since it's my
And then-
camera. I know how it works.
And then if somebody could hold the flashlight so we could have some lighting, that would
I have
probably be
a
good.
flashlight, so I think that'll work.
All right. I'll be Caldwell or I'll be Goody. Gene, which one do you want to be?
I'll be Goody.
Okay, I'll be Caldwell.
Cool. Alrighty. So with that being
If it's
said,
one thing I know how to do is act.
in order for you guys to complete your film project, I want you to, at some point during this play session, film 4 scenes. You can, based on all the information you've gathered at this point, you could pretend whatever those scenes are, as long as they're related slightly to the notes that you've been taking. Or I can remind you if you really need me to set you up for a scene or whatever. But if you see an opportunity to record a scene, you can pretend to act one out or something. But yeah, that if you want to get at least a B on your assignment, you have to record 4 scenes while you're here.
So if it's okay, Ashley, can I make a suggestion?
I'm sorry, who's Ashley?
It's you.
Aren't you Ashley?
You're Alicia in real life.
Fuck Ash!
Oh yeah.
Ash, okay. Ash, can I make a suggestion?
Okay.
I think we should tell a story. A story of murder. And we should start off with Lawrence and Goody. We should tell a story. I can't comprehend a lot, so I don't really. But we should tell from him coming to the house to him dying a horrible, horrible death.
I feel like a lot of people have already talked about his death, so I feel like that might not be original enough. But we could try it out and see what happens.
It would certainly make a compelling drama.
How did Lawrence call the guy again?
He shot
Murder
himself
Oh,
and killed his
but
wife.
he killed his wife first. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe we
Oh,
should
he
have.
killed his wife after he died.
No. No, that's impossible.
Or is it?
Right? Yeah, that's it.
The author who wrote those books has some deep, deep knowledge on this, otherworldly knowledge. So maybe we should do a story then with the wife and Lawrence then, because I'm not sure. So did the this is actually literally me asking, did the nephew and do we have any material on the nephew and Lawrence knowing each other before that letter?
You do. You have a book called The Demented Days of Danvers that literally chronicles an event they did together.
With Goody? I don't remember seeing that.
It's, well, Goody's his nickname, but Sebastian Goodsir is his full name. It was in the thing that Ash read in the library, the real library.
All right, I'm gonna have to do some. Oh, in the real. Wait.
The real library, not the children's library.
Children's library.
We still haven't taken time to read that book yet.
But yeah, you would need a bit of time in order to read that book. And desire. I don't know if Ash wants to read it or not. But yeah, while you guys are debating all of this, you hear a loud slam come from upstairs. Like something got
boy.
knocked over.
Oh, that's not good.
The camera in my hand whips around to the staircase and looks.
I
course
might
the
need to go to
staircase.
the bathroom, guys.
I don't think the bathroom's on this floor.
Oh,
It isn't. Oh my god. What kind of
Maybe I
man's
could use
is
a-
this?
Maybe I could use the kitchen sink.
It's abandoned.
Oh.
But yeah, so you turn your camera up. You don't see anything from this angle.
Okay.
I'll point the flashlight up the stairs.
You don't see anything from this angle.
Lovely.
Cool. And
Throw
so
a
I say,
firecracker. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say to everybody else, it's like everyone else heard that, right?
Yeah.
All right. Or actually, maybe I could say, like, what was that? Because that probably makes more sense. What was that?
It's
think it
probably
was-
those drunk Seniors.
I
Doing
like
the
how you
Seniors.
assumed they were
Oh,
drunk.
Doing senior things.
if there's seniors here, I want to leave.
The Biff guy.
He did say he's been here 17 times. Maybe we should have asked him for help with our project.
I'm starting to realize that maybe we should have came in with a better idea of what we're going to do. But
Where's the fun in that?
I think we should investigate what the thud is. I mean, if we're going to try to be filming in here, we can't have disturbances while we're trying to film a scene.
Good point.
It's true.
All right.
Upstairs, then.
Alrighty. So, you head upstairs. Heading up the steps, you'll notice that the floor creaks incredibly loud. The building also now seems to have a slight, strange swaying to it, probably due to that crooked look it had on the outside. There's a lot of water damage on the top floor, and the floors look moldy and wet as the ceiling drips. In your explorations of the house, you hadn't noticed it began to start raining even more outside. You can now hear thunder going occasionally in the distance. In the main hall, now on the second floor, you see less graffiti and damage. There is a balcony that overlooks the lobby, and while there are many doors leading to various rooms, there's also an attic door above the balcony. And let me send you a picture of the second floor. Upstairs. Here we go.
I take out my curse-repelling troll doll and start stroking its hair.
And right now, so you're at the top of the steps. And like I said, you see where it says balcony? There's like an attic string hanging in the ceiling up there. But it's a little bit too high for you kids to reach.
Not without our trusty stool, but that's outside.
It's outside.
So, fearless leader, what do you want to do?
If you want to know a direction where the sound came from, it sounded like it came from the north guest bedroom.
Oh, the master bathroom?
No. You see how there's
guest
two
room.
guest bedrooms? It's from the top one.
I see.
The one between the master bedroom and the guest bedroom. The middle one.
So the guest bedroom next to the guest
We're
bedroom.
right where we are now, yeah. Alright.
Okay, so guess we make our way towards the guest bedroom.
I think so, but we should probably film this.
Oh yeah, no, the camera's still on.
Oh fuck!
Oh.
Blair Witch.
I'm glad you brought some. I'm glad you brought some extra batteries.
Yeah.
I know these VHS camcorders.
Yeah, you can hear.
Not
it.
have. How's the image quality?
It's
You know,
great for
720.
1990.
Like 720.
And lights and everything.
Alrighty, so do you guys want to go in that bedroom?
Yeah, but I think if we're filming it, then me and Goody, aka Jean, should probably go first to get us on camera.
Oh dang, you're gonna turn this into a scene.
All right.
So,
Alright, I'll hold the flashlight up.
all right, my fellow adventurer and nephew, Sebastian Goodsir, let us venture forth and find what doth house has.
The shocking realization you know nothing about Sebastian Goods. Alrighty. So you enter the room. Mozzie, I want you to roll heart lead. I want you to negate
this is
20
bad.
dice because nobody has faith in you.
Heart lead. Okay, but I take out my super soaker and put the hot sauce in it.
That's fine. I'll
Okay.
consider that one of your weird spell thingies, so...
Okay, so I'm gonna roll 2 dice because I only had 1 for heart lead. Nope, snake eyes.
Okay, that's fine. So you enter the room, and you get a little freaked out because when you enter the room, the lightning outside flashes, and it makes the room look incredibly eerie because all you get is that light and then the light from the little thing, and the door opens slowly because you're a little scared by all this. And the first thing you notice on the floor is that the floor is so dusty that anything that's left footprints that would be in there, there's tiny little hands that lead underneath the bed. And also in this room is just a bunch of knocked over furniture. Otherwise, it's actually relatively dry in here. The window hasn't been broken or anything like that. The furniture's knocked over, but it could be a room that people can stay in for the night, for that Donkey Dare challenge that all the kids do. But yeah, there's tiny little handprints leading under the bed.
I start to furiously cock my super soaker.
So definitely not paws. They're definitely handprints.
They look like tiny handprints.
Oh no!
Maybe
Don't
about
like that.
this big each.
I don't like that.
Well, that's uncomfortable. I'm gonna shine the flashlight underneath the bed.
Alrighty, so you do that, like, basically you're still behind everybody and you get down on your legs, on your knees, and you, like, shine it between to look at it. And when you do that, you see a reflection of eyes staring back at you as you do. And before Zero could really kind of react to anything, because he doesn't see what you see, suddenly these tiny black hands reach out from underneath the bed and grab onto Zero's leg. And they scare the shit out of you, so put a condition in scared. But the things have, like, a pretty strong grasp on your leg, and they're trying to, like, pull at you, and they're tearing your pants a little bit.
I swear to God, I don't see conditions on this list anywhere.
You can just write it down.
Okay.
I
Does
know when it
does
prints,
that mean
it's doing something stupid.
Does that also mean I lose a dice?
Yeah, that's one of the
Okay, so any conditions. Okay.
Yeah. Basically, you can lose up to a maximum of 4 dice because of the conditions. So.
Gotcha. So currently the it's holding onto my legs.
Yeah, and it's kind of tearing at your pants, trying to, like, kind of drag it under the bed. You see these tiny little black hands reach out from under the bed, and they're, like, trying to drag you under.
I'm yelling at Robert, hit it, hit it, hit it.
I go to hit it with the shovel.
Alrighty, so you well, actually, roll body force.
I should not be the one doing this, as I'm only rolling a single die, and the answer was no.
You didn't get anything? So you
Nope.
hit the bed, like you aren't able to hit the hands, but that's enough, because the hands retreat, and then from between everybody, this black thing just runs out from under the bed in between you, and it gets to the doorway and hisses, and what you realize it is a very angry raccoon, and it just goes and you see it, like, run away into the main hall and kind of disappear in between some floorboards and stuff.
Why would a raccoon?
Go ahead.
Wait, what?
This is like, why would a raccoon grab onto somebody's pants?
It was scared and cornered.
Well, guys, I don't have to go to the bathroom anymore.
Oh no. That makes everyone upset.
Everybody's frightened.
I just
upset.
I take a
Already
step back.
upset.
I take a step back away from Zero.
Yeah, nobody's actually upset. That was
I grabbed the coat, the extra coat that I got for Raven, the Enchantress, my little sister, and I tie it around my waist. But the vlog sign is in front of my pants. In front of my pants.
Oh no. You didn't bring us spare clothes. Alrighty, so you're in this room now. If anybody would like to investigate or anything like that.
No, I'm gonna take a minute to try to fix my injury, or at least repair my pants a little or something.
That's a good idea.
So just to clarify, right now there's furniture all thrown about.
Yeah.
Everything is dusty on the floor. And the raccoon just left. Is there anything else that I'm missing in this picture?
If you want, you can roll comprehend really quick. Mind comprehend.
I am so the one to be rolling this. So with the condition scared, I roll 1 die. Nope.
Nothing? Okay. So what you do notice is, even if you failed, you do notice that there are names carved into the wall. But when you look closely, it says Donkey Dare Challenge, and it's a list of kids' names, some of which you recognize, and dates.
Like who they brought to the house?
More like who probably completed the Donkey Dare challenge and signed like a leaderboard almost to say like, oh, I did it and stuff.
I feel so silly. I thought you meant like their dates that they brought to the house.
Oh no.
That's a gross challenge.
Yeah. But there's like names that you like fairly recognize because they're just names that get tossed around at school a lot, but nobody you know really personally.
So we don't see Biff on there anywhere?
No.
Biff's a liar.
I immediately take the camera and point it right at that list.
That's amazing.
Can I also roll investigate?
I'd say yes, but that's actually the only thing left in this room.
Okay.
All right, well, should we film a scene in here, guys?
I would say that the raccoon scene actually works as one scene.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to mark that you filmed one scene of, write down you filmed Sebastian and Lawrence go on an adventure.
Great. So the scene we filmed was the one where I pee my pants.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Your whole class is gonna see it.
Great.
Oh, God.
It was really
in
shaky.
character.
Everybody
I was
freaked out
in
when
character.
the raccoon jumped out.
It was dark. I'm sure it's fine.
But yeah, so
And
that
Molly
leaves you guys
is
on the upper
completely
floor.
confused.
They're all gonna know. But yeah, so that leaves you guys on the second floor. In the north guest bedroom. From somewhere in the house, you hear like a light, like, let's see if you can hear this.
Is that a gong?
No? Okay, you didn't hear it. Scratching sound.
Oh, okay.
I got
Somewhere in the house, we don't know where it's coming from.
You're not
I think
entirely
you should
sure.
be able to share. You should be able to share your audio if you just go to share audio.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
trying to do it with my hands. So if it's not picking up on the mic, then it's not doing it. But yeah, there's a scratch.
Really low tech.
Great.
Yeah,
The raccoon's trying to get out of the house now.
could be. Yeah.
So, fearless leader, what would you like to do?
I don't know where you're getting this fearlessness coming from.
You didn't piss yourself.
Fearful leader, what would you like to do?
Very true. I have yet to wet myself.
Yet to witness.
Only 1 in 4 has wet themselves at the moment.
1 in 4 kids will wet themselves today. Will you be one of them? So we just hear scratching. We don't know where it's coming from.
Not necessarily, but you also hear a lot of creaking due to the house kind of having that sway, so there's a chance it's just blending in.
Well, we could go to the master bedroom next door.
Yeah, that was kind of gonna be one of my suggestions.
Yeah, maybe we can film a scene in there, like us waking up terrified to something. Because I'm totally not terrified, so it will give me the ability to really try out my acting chops.
Alrighty, so you're going to the master bedroom?
We could stage the murder scene in there.
Yes, stage it.
Did we find a candlestick anywhere?
We find a revolver. What?
Oh my.
Oh my.
Alrighty, so...
but you're in the master bedroom. I vote not to leave this time.
You smell something, and it's coming
It's
from
me.
Zero. It's just absolutely coming from Zero. Zero, there is a bathroom on this floor.
Too late now.
But alright, so you guys make your way over to the master bedroom, and when you open the door to this room has a bit of an unexpected scene in it when you open the door. Expecting the usual decrepit abandoned house motif, which you do receive, you're also greeted with somewhat of a story. There's a large king-sized bed drooping in its center due to the water damage it's receiving from a drip in the ceiling. This has caused the entire room to smell of mildew. And across from the bed is a fireplace, and in front of the fireplace are a few shotgun shells. Disassembled, the gunpowder from them seemingly dumped onto the floor.
Zero, it's something for you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to throw my firecracker at the gunpowder.
Oh my god.
You're all dead. I know I said you couldn't die in this, but
You found a way.
That's a
Life finds
terrible
a way.
idea, Zero.
It's the first ever recording of Faces of Death.
Oh Jesus! If you guys wanted, you can decide if you want to roll Mind Investigate or Mind Comprehend. If you roll Investigate, you're going to ask questions about the room, and what like stuff like that. If you roll Comprehend, you're just going to look around for things in the room.
Can I tinker with it? Can I?
Not necessarily. Tinkering
Okay.
is kind of like if there was a mechanical thing in the room, you can. I mean, I guess you can tinker
I was
with the
thinking
shotgun
of adding
shells.
it. I was thinking of adding the gunpowder and making a super firework.
Honestly, yeah, you could. You could do that.
So I'm gonna try to do that because I am frightened, and if there's another raccoon, I need to do my ultra mega Ragnarok explosive spell.
Jesus. What does everybody else want to do in the meantime while he's rolling?
Well, either way, investigative mind or comprehend mind, it's still 0 for that, and still 3 dice for me. So
That's fine.
I think
It's more like, what would you like to accomplish in this room? Would you like to ask questions about what you see going on, or would you like to look for suspicious things in the room?
I want to roll comprehend. I rolled 2 6s.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So, yeah, we'll go from there. So, comprehend. You search the fireplace, kind of right next to those shells, and what you see is there's a large, wet, dark stain emerging from the fireplace. And when you look up into it, you notice that you can see the sky, and you get hit in the face with a couple raindrops. When you look down, there's a grate in the fireplace, and if you yell into it, it echoes, and it sounds like it comes out in a different room in the house. So, presumably, this fireplace leads to another fireplace on the floor below it.
So it's a dumbwaiter.
No, it's just a fireplace with a chute in it, so that if you
Oh, okay.
were to light a fire on the lower floor, it would just go all the way up through the house. And then the other thing you notice, because you got 2 comprehend, let's see, you get 1 additional bit of information. That kind of leads your eye to kind of look around, because you notice next to the gunpowder, there's like some white powder. And you're looking around the room, and you notice that there's like white powder in front of the doors, or there's white powder in front of the windows, there's a little bit on the bed. But yeah, there's just like trails of this little white powder all over the place.
the crack.
It's great. You don't
It's
know.
crack.
It's gotta be
Is it salt?
crack. You don't know.
Okay, I also rolled 2 6s.
For investigate or comprehend?
Let's go comprehend.
Comprehend. Okay, so what you do notice, because Jean's kind of investigating the fireplace over there, what you notice is there's something shiny coming from underneath the bed. And when you kind of get down to look at it, you notice it's a canister that does indeed say salt, and it's empty. And then you tinkered, right, Zero?
Yeah. Should I use my tech and tinker?
Yeah.
thing? Or okay. And I still have that status condition, so
This will probably heal it because you armed yourself, essentially, because you were scared, right? Was the thing?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
so this would
frightened,
make you
yeah.
braver, I think. And then wait, you
Rolling
wanted
so
to
much.
tinker in this room too, right? To kind of no? Okay.
I hadn't gotten there yet.
Ah, gotcha.
2 1s and a 6. So I
Okay,
did
that's
pass.
enough. So you you don't know how safe it is what you just did, but you combined a little bit of what's it called, gunpowder with the hot sauce, and who knows if it'll work or if it'll just blow up in your face or just do nothing. But you feel a bit more confident about it because you're a dumb kid. But yeah, so
My alchemy has worked.
yeah, so heal your scared status ailment then.
Okay.
Yeah, you fixed your upset, and everybody looked for stuff in the room. I want to say you did everything in this room then. Yes. Okay, so this room, you have the master bedroom. You've looked around. There's something weird going on here.
We should film a scene here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely
everybody's
should.
if everybody's okay with doing that. Anybody have any ideas on what we should film?
If
We
you would like
don't
a
really know any
reminder-
details about how like the murder happened because we probably should have looked through one of those books that we got.
That is true. There's two things you can do right now. If you ever need like a reminder of a scene that you can do, roll comprehend +1, and I'll just remind you of something. Two, Ash, if you'd like to if you give the book to Jean, I think that would probably work better because she's a bookworm. So I'm gonna say she'd be able to skim through it faster than you could.
But it was given to me. Okay, here.
Wait, I missed at the beginning. So Jean is a bookworm. What's Ash and what's Robert?
I am the troublemaker.
Troublemaker. Okay.
And I'm a hacker.
Oh, cool.
Tank
Which
DPS.
is super helpful with ghosts.
Healer.
Yeah.
It has proven to be useless so far.
I'm sure this house has AOL.
Hey, Ash, I can skim through that book real quick to get some ideas for the next scene.
Okie dokie. And I hand it to her.
Okay, so this is... I'm going to send it specifically to Jean, and you can basically be a bookworm and read it at your leisure, and then just summarize it for everyone, because it's a little long.
It's fine.
But yeah, you can basically be... Because you're a bookworm, it makes sense that you would just be following along, reading this while everybody's doing things. But yeah, there you go. I sent it in a personal message.
Hey, Ash and Robert, do you guys think the fireplace still works? Like, could we use it, or could I use it and, dry off a certain area?
So
just asking. It's
That would
okay.
be... Are you talking about the fireplace in the south guest bedroom?
I thought it was in the master. We're in the master bedroom. I thought
Oh
you
yeah,
said
there
was
is
a
one.
fireplace.
There is
Yeah.
one. It doesn't look like it would because it's covered. It's wet.
Okay.
I feel like nobody wants to smell hot pee, though.
You got to open your mind.
I mean,
You just got to be more open.
do
to
you
things.
speak for all?
I mean, I speak for many for that one.
Me.
So say we all.
Oh yeah, she speaks for all, no doubt.
So, as a troublemaker, Ash, what's the most trouble you ever gotten into, and why did you get in trouble for it? Like, what caused it?
Well, it was partially Jean's fault, but I was in the library at school, and I got caught mixing the cards in the library that designate where the books are. So I messed with their Dewey Decimal System. My camera turned off. Sorry.
Dewey wasn't happy with you.
Dude,
Yeah.
so mad.
But I got detention for like a week for that. I don't think the people that work at the library really like me.
Well, they love me. So.
They think
Especially
I'm
Martha.
magic.
I wrote that name down on the NPC list.
But Jean was supposed to be the lookout. She didn't tell me when an adult was coming.
Ash just said, hey, tell me if anyone's coming. I was in the middle of a good book, and I was not going to interrupt it for anything. And on that note, I was reading this, and it says that Lawrence saw one of the people on the expedition get eaten by cannibals on Cannibal Mountain. I guess it's a pretty literal name.
You would have thought they would have known. Maybe it was named after.
Also, Goody thinks that his uncle saw a real Yeti. They thought it was a bear, but now they think it's a Yeti, and they ate it. Also, when he was in the mental hospital, the doctor there was sacrificing patients to the eldritch god Yogar to try to bring the eldritch god into the world. And Goody's friend Murphy died in the escape. And he thinks that the reason why he killed himself and his wife was the trauma resurfaced.
That doctor sounds like a lovely person.
So basically, your average life. I mean,
You know how it is.
yeah.
Trauma, kill everyone, and die.
If Ash remembers correctly, the book that she read in the library, the public library, mentioned that the Demented Days of Danvers was considered, it was stricken from some records and considered nonfiction now.
Okay.
But so he killed his wife potentially because of trauma.
Yeah,
His past
that's
trauma.
That's what Goody says.
This got dark real quick.
This
You know,
isn't-
not all the
this-
killing, but
This isn't bringing back anything for me, guys.
Oh, jeez, yeah, I'm sorry. Your poor kid is gonna have a real tough time today.
no, is his character development like based off a lot of this?
Be prepared for an arc.
Arkham horror?
Arkham Horror.
Yeah, let's just say there's a reason I'm in an orphanage, guys. But it's all right. It's all right. Everything's okay now.
It's cool. It's cool.
I can
cool,
cast
cool,
spells and like I have a Pegasus, so it's fine. We're all right.
As you say that, Zero, you're kind of facing towards everybody, talking to them as Jean's reading her book and everybody else is kind of looking at you. The doorway is in the background behind both of them, and you see what kind of looks like something, a shadow, like a tall shadow, walk past the door. Oh, yeah, we can't hear you, unless if you're just that scared. Actually, I can't hear anybody now. Oh wait, you're
No,
muted.
I was. Yeah, I was. Muted.
Sorry, my audio drivers decided to flip. But I was
Aw.
saying, I think it's one of those. I think it's one of those big people.
Oh, God.
The big people.
Where's the big people?
Flashlight.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes. Point
Flashlight?
flashlight. Prepare shovel.
So you all aim your flashlights at the door. Nothing there.
I put
Lightning
holy water.
strikes.
I put holy water in my super soaker.
Man, you change cartridges real quick. I remember my Super Soaker, you had to like try to find the screws, try to find the thread first, and then try to.
I modified it so that way I can just quickly, like a magazine, just put it in the bottom of the super soaker.
Oh, one final thing that from the Demented Days of Danvers, it again mentions that he could never find his uncle's chronicler's journal from that expedition
yeah.
that caused him to go that way.
He thinks it's hidden in the house.
Ah, interesting.
That's.
I don't
think
think
that's
we
probably.
need to find it.
How about this?
Oh, I think we do.
Do you want an A?
Yeah, if you want an A, we're gonna find it.
So for
Well-
I'm happy with a B. I'm okay with that.
if we want to like show a story arc and make it abstract, why don't I be Caldwell, since I'm already Caldwell, and show the madness and trauma he experiences firsthand?
Oh God, Zero's gonna kill us.
Zero's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Zero,
I
the
hear
light
Ash.
bringer, would never kill anybody.
I mean, maybe not on purpose, but
He almost killed himself like twice now.
I start throwing the gunpowder and Tabasco thing.
Just start throwing it all over yourself, painting it on your face.
Oh, God.
It burns so good.
It burns
Alright.
so good.
We should check out the trophy room. That sounds interesting.
that'll make for a good backdrop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can dig into more of his backstory, like Gene
can-
was saying.
Maybe have a shot of him like walking around the room ranting about his like the things he's seen.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to the trophy room?
To the trophy room.
And we are going to completely ignore the shadow that just passed.
Yep.
Well, you open the door and you notice that there's nothing that would look like it made that shadow walking anywhere in the house. So, weird. You go over to the trophy
It
room.
was
and-
probably the raccoon guy.
Just grew to big people.
It's 3 raccoons stacked on top of each other.
Wearing a trench
One
coat.
of the coats, yeah. One of those Arby surplus coats from downstairs.
It was all just raccoons. It's all raccoons the whole time. So you get over the trophy room door, and to your surprise, it's locked.
Ooh.
I'd like to try to open that lock.
Alrighty. How would you like to try that?
I would like to try to start by forcing the lock.
Okay. Roll body force. So you're just gonna kind of like hip check the door, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's an old house. Could work.
Ooh, good roll. 2.
2 successes.
2 successes.
Alrighty, so you do it. That one was you would need 2 successes in order to do it because it's a sturdy door and you're a kid. But yeah, you managed to burst the door open. It kind of bruises your shoulder in the process, but not enough to cause you to get a condition. But you do feel a little sore in the shoulder. But yeah, you burst the door open. Let me see if I have anything for this room.
He's the strongest hacker I've ever met.
He's
Also the only hacker I've ever met.
You're a strong little
I was
people.
really hoping you were going to be like, I try to open the door. How do you do it? I hack it.
ACK.
He takes a shovel and starts digging in front of the door to go under.
Alrighty, so it's a wonder this room managed to stay locked all these years. Looking back on it, it just doesn't seem like most vandals come up to the second floor. Maybe the creaks and swaying discourages them. There's a good chance that you are the first people to unlock this room since the Franklins lived here in the 60s. So anybody who has a negative condition, gain 1 positive. So heal yourself for 1 if you have a negative at all. I believe all of you are healed at this point.
Oh, no,
so
wait,
you're
I was
fine.
already back to normal. I'm good.
Yeah. Alright. Inside this room seems to be artifacts of various expeditions. Despite multiple people living here and the house having been abandoned, this room still gives off a vibe that it has been untouched since Lawrence Coswell first decorated it. You get the impression that the part of the reason people bought this house so many times was due to Lawrence's collections, hence why they stay. The walls and shelves of this room look right out of an Indiana Jones movie. There's carvings and statuettes and instruments and idols and masks and all sorts of other museum-quality artifacts displayed about.
This Caldwell truly was a king among men. All the riches he has.
I'd
Truly
like
a
to look
fine
about
leader.
the room.
Yeah, can we see what the trophies are for?
Sure. If you would like to ask a question like that, roll Mind Investigate. Basically, if anybody wants to do anything in the room, roll Mind Investigate or Mind Comprehend, depending on if you want to ask questions or actually, like, look
Alright.
specifically for stuff.
Real quickly.
I got 1.
You got 1 in what? Investigate?
You said mind investigate, right?
Yeah.
I
So
got
the
1
questions,
success.
The questions you can ask are, what is hidden here and what is it? What does it mean? What happened here? I don't think that really applies. What threats can I perceive here? Yeah, that's it. So, what is hidden here and what is it? What does it mean? What happened here? And what threats can I perceive here? Are probably the 3 best ones you can ask.
I feel like because I'm not scared, I probably would ask the first question, what's hidden here?
What's hidden here and what is it? Okay, so you look around the room, and you notice that there's these cool masks on the wall. One of them, like, surprisingly looks, like, different than the others. Like, the other ones seem like artifacts, like things that you would see in, like, a museum. But then there's this one that just kind of looks like a donkey head. Like almost like a taxidermy donkey head. Underneath it says Butters. And it kind of looks a little bit newer than everything else. Like, everything else has, like, these containers and stuff that kind of look like they're from the 20s almost, but this one kind of looks a little bit more updated. Almost like it was added as an addition later. But yeah, so there's this, like, taxidermy donkey head just sitting on the wall looking out like this, and it's got a name tag under it. This is Butters.
Franklins love their donkeys.
They love their donkeys.
It is quite an
They
ass.
think their donkey deserved just as high of a treatment as literally these priceless artifacts in this house.
I'm just wondering why they named it Butters.
So I think for this scene,
Was the first name I came up with just now.
for the scene that we should do is that I should be pacing in front of the trophies and having anguish and like showing anguish and discontent and seeing my past life and like all the greatness I used to be that's now behind me.
Oh damn!
Okay,
Sounds
so
good.
Deep.
all right, so I have the
Somebody
camera.
lighting, whoever has a flashlight needs to provide some lighting. Make sure to get my good
Okay.
side.
So
Lights,
I
camera.
yeah. So I have the camera on Butters, and then I pan over to
Butters.
Zero, who's showing anguish over his past successes and his despair of never being able to be that successful ever again.
As you're kind of pacing and doing your acting, you notice consequence to nothing, one of the masks just seems to fall off the wall. Just goes.
Cool. This is cool.
You get a great reaction shot of me screaming.
Your coat falls off from around your waist, and you can see the pee again. God damn, it's gonna be in every shot.
I think I should do investigate or comprehend.
Sure. Which one would you like to do? And remember, you roll mind plus those two things, or one of those two things.
I'll do comprehend, and I already rolled. I rolled 1-6.
Okay, so you're doing comprehend. So you're looking around the room, and you comprehend. Let's see, what do you find in the room? You find a section titled Peru. You notice that all the sections are named after different places he's been. And you find a section called Peru. And if you remember correctly, in the demented days of Danvers, Peru was the last place he went to before something bad happened to him. And there you find what looks like a key. You aren't entirely too sure what it's for, but it's like a small, almost like a locker key, just sitting on a shelf for the Peru section. And you also notice that that's like the only thing there. Like there's no anything else there, just a small key, and that's it.
All right. I found this cool key, everybody. I'm just gonna hang on to it. Maybe we'll find something later.
Yeah, it might be something downstairs or even in the basement.
In the cellar. Is that where Machu Picchu is in Peru?
Yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of which, it said Harum Bingham in the journal. That guy's real. he discovered Machu Picchu, as in
I discovered New York. It's a city.
Yeah, exactly. He found it like fifth in line, but he was the first person to be like, "Hey, I found it."
So smart.
Be proud of me, Mom.
Yeah, be proud of me for once. They named a train station after him in Machu Picchu City. Anyway, that's a history lesson for another day.
Right.
So
I'd like to sense danger if I can.
Sense danger. Let's see. That's probably investigate. Mind investigate.
Sorry. Man, I haven't been rolling anything. 0. Or no successes, rather.
Oh, no successes? Nothing in this room really immediately stands out, although you are starting to notice that the idols, like these little statues that are on some of the shelves, they're just kind of like, they feel like they're looking at you, but they can't be.
Does anyone get that feeling like we're being watched?
I mean, I have a camera on me.
That's probably it.
That's gotta be it. That's
gotta be it. I empathize with you. That I also feel that I just want to use that stat. I don't know when to
empathize. Yeah, you can. You can. Oh, well, I don't really know why you'd do that. None of it would really apply to this situation.
I'm just curious when I can use that. Actually,
it's basically a this empathize is when you say you want to study like a living thing to see how it's possibly going to react or how you can hurt it or something. That's when you would probably use empathize. Because the questions you can ask for it are like, what is its weak spot? Does it want something? Stuff like that. So
gotcha. I have 2 points in it. I was like, when can I use this thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah,
but no, I do feel, Robert, I do agree. I do feel something watching us besides the camera.
You sense the spirits of the house.
This house is not clean.
So write down that you did scene 2. Lawrence has a breakdown. Write that down.
Okay. Yeah, I originally wrote it as trophy room.
So Lawrence, 2 of your 4 scenes. At this point, I want to say it's probably 9 o'clock at night. The storm outside is super bad. Like, if you were gonna go home tonight, it might not be the best option anymore because it's just storming so badly outside at this point. And the house is kind of swaying a little bit in the wind. but not enough that, like, you've gotten kind of used to it at this point. It's almost like you've been on a boat for 4 hours, and at this point you've just kind of gotten used to the seasickness of it all. But, like, at this point, you're basically locked in this house because the house is, the only safe space from this raging storm outside. Just so bad. You can hear the rain coming down really terribly in the main hall and everything like that. So yeah, so it's starting to get late is what I'm saying.
It's okay if I stay here. I told Sister Julie that I will be staying at Robert's tonight, so she thinks I'm spending the night over at your place playing James Bond Jr. on the Super Nintendo.
Night.
One of the worst games ever
It was
made.
really bad.
I would have to imagine.
I
I
remember
was
that one.
planning to go home. My parents are probably going to be super worried, but I don't think I can ride my bike out of the woods.
Yeah.
I don't think we can get out of the woods to our bikes.
Yeah, the winds are too bad for Pegasus to fly right now.
I told them where I was going, so hopefully they show up, but who knows? Maybe they can't find it in the storm.
Did you have them map quest and give them
Yeah.
directions?
Following the map quest to go backwards has never worked.
To go
I
back.
remember. Yeah.
Oh man.
On the real, I tried to go on a camping trip once, and the map quest brought us to the back entrance, which was closed, and we couldn't. It took us 3 hours to figure out how to get to the front entrance.
I used MapQuest once to get to ASEN, which was an anime convention in Illinois, and we almost died.
All right, now you're gonna
You
ford
almost
this river.
died.
Because I had to like read it on the fly, and my friend was really bad at reading the directions, so we had to like turn onto a thing. But we waited until like the last second. I was a terrible driver at the time too, so like I like swerved over the median to get to it.
Oh my
So
god.
bad.
Wow.
That's what you get for not having a live GPS. That's life chasing. Anyway.
Yeah.
Roll to empathize if you know.
So this room seems to be just kind of starting to get on everyone's nerves. It's like
All right.
things just kind
Time
of
to
Well,
leave.
if we're gonna bunker down, should we? Like, I feel like we should finish this. So first off, are we gonna be back in the master bedroom, like sleep tonight?
the master bed. As far as the rooms you've looked at so far, the only one that seemed hospitable was the guest bedroom north. But there's still plenty of rooms to look at. But the master bedroom, the bed, if you remember, it smelled like mildew in there, and the bed was sinking through the floor because it was so badly water damaged. So that room might not work.
How big was the bed in the north guest room?
The north guest room had one bed in it that's good for one person, but there's plenty of floor space for people to live on. You might be able to find a better room, though.
Yeah, let's go check out the other guest room. It's just down the hall from where we are.
Sounds good.
Okay. So as you're walking down the hall, as you notice, if you look at the ladder, the map, you have to kind of go across the balcony to get to the guest bedroom. And as you're walking, it's dark enough now, so you see lightning flash outside. And then, like, almost like a delay, you look up and you notice a purple glow coming from, like, the rim of the attic. And it's like, every single time lightning flashes, this attic kind of lights up for a second, and then slowly over time dims. And then,
That's
like,
totally normal. All addicts do that. We should just
Alien.
ignore it.
It's aliens.
It's aliens. Oh no.
So, who wants
There's
to
probably-
go behind door number 1?
There's probably a super normal explanation, like aliens.
It's gotta
Like
be
aliens.
Because those are
Can we
super
reach-
normal.
Probably just a wizard, like casting a.
Can we reach the little pull string for that door?
transmogrification spell
Not,
and,
you would have to pull off some sort of thing in order to reach the string that leads to the attic, because all of you are small children. So, well, not terribly
We're
small,
little
but
people.
yeah, you're little people. So you gotta.
Do you remember
um,
how to boost your friends up? Because I was pretty good at that. Like, you put your knee out, and then you, like,
Yeah. That would work.
who's the smallest kid?
Who's the youngest one?
I'm 13.
I'm also,
I'm also
13.
13.
13.
And I'm 14, so.
Oh.
So you're at the
The
bottom.
big kid.
I have an idea. Why don't I take off my cloak and see if I can lasso the string and pull it down.
You
I'll
say,
allow
why
it.
don't I take off my pants? Cause
I assume like most attic. I mean my cloak, not the coat that's around it, but my actual cloak. Because most attics have that little like knob at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
To pull down. So I was figuring try to get a hold of that.
I need you to roll a really good tech tinker. So like probably 2 successes in order to pull that off.
Okay. Tinker for me. How much is that?
Tinker plus tech. So both of those.
Okay. Two.
You got it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
nice.
Six,
So
six,
you
three,
managed
three.
to pull the sick move where you like you whip your jacket at it and pull it down, and it actually works. And the ladder comes down and it gets really close to your head as it comes down, but you manage to avoid it. But you play it off like you meant to do that all along. But yeah, the ladder's down, and you notice again when lightning hits, this attic just glows. This gigantic purple light comes down out of it, and then it slowly fades over time. But only when the lightning hits.
Does anybody hear a cow being beamed up?
All right, who gets to go first this time? Ash.
I have the camera, so I guess is it a staircase or is it a ladder?
It's like a staircase.
Okay.
I'm still
Alright.
trying to untie my cloak from the stupid string.
You're just gonna have to cut it or leave it.
I take out the switchblade.
Alrighty, so if you're leading, Ash,
Yeah.
Roll heart lead.
Okay, so that's 1 dice, but I have 2 for lead.
And roll a +1 dice because people have faith in you for it.
Ooh.
Because Robert literally suggested you lead.
Two and a 5.
So no successes?
No successes.
That's fine.
I
So
just die. It's okay.
you're dead. You fall down the stairs and die and break your neck. So you get up into the attic, and it's like really dark as you're trying to go up there. The flashlight doesn't do terribly much as you're getting up there. There's a couple people behind you, and you get all the way into the attic. It's pitch black almost. But then lightning strikes really loud right outside, seemingly the manse. Suddenly the attic just glows this brilliant purple, and it scares you a little bit. So give yourself a scared condition because that shocked you because you weren't expecting it to happen like that quick because you haven't been counting the lightning. You get shocked by that jump scare of the just crack, and then all of a sudden the attic is just this brilliant purple. And what you notice happened is there seems to be kind of a hole in the roof, and what's happening is light is coming from outside, and it's seemingly reacting to all these weird mushrooms up in the attic. The attic is full of these gigantic weird purple mushrooms that like every single time light hits they photo react to it and they glow in turn, and then they kind of dissolve over time with their light. So every single time the light hits, it's just this brilliant burst of purple, and then it slowly fades out over time.
So which one makes us smaller and which one makes us bigger?
Please don't eat the mushroom. Please cut
He doesn't want to actually have to kill one of us off.
But yeah,
Turn into a plumber.
Okay,
go
all
ahead.
right.
What
but
else you see in this attic is there's just boxes everywhere, and like a very quick inspection, like just glancing, cursory glance, seems like almost everybody who lived here left their shit up here. Like there's stuff from Lawrence Coswell's section, there's stuff from Arthur Kerwin's section, there's stuff from the Franklins, there's stuff even from those people that just moved out that just had a debt problem. Like there's stuff from almost every single generation of people that's lived here, and like you can see it span over time. So if anybody wants to roll different things in order to figure out what's going on in this room or look around this room, go ahead.
I'd like to try to use my PDA to see if I can look up any information on these mushrooms.
Can you? Because it can't connect to the internet.
No, basically just hoping that I'd have something like an encyclopedia on my PDA.
Fair. No, go for it. Roll mind investigate +1 because you're using your thing.
All right.
I use my pager to send Robert a message, and it's 8008.
LOL.
Man, my dice rolls suck. Still no hits, no successes.
Oh man.
So these mushrooms, you still learn something, is that you can't necessarily figure out anything about these mushrooms. They seem weird. They don't, like, out of all the things on your PDA, they just don't, they're not on there. Which means you learn something by not learning anything.
Very weird. I inform everyone that I didn't find anything.
They're not common mushrooms, let's put it that way.
I'm going to investigate. Let me roll.
Ready?
Can't listen to the playlist at the same time because it makes my internet slow down for some stupid reason.
That's fair.
I got 1 success. I would like to ask what is hidden.
What is hidden here? Okay. So, the thing you find is you're looking around for stuff that you can use on your homework assignment. You find a box towards the back that says Lawrence Coswell on it, and it looks like an expedition box, but what's strange about it is that it looks like it's been blown up from the inside out. What is kind of, like, strewn about in the room, like, coming from it, is, like, expedition clothes. So, like, his clothes. There's, like, a rope that's a little bit damaged, but not terribly damaged that it can't be used. And there's, like, a couple other things that have just been kind of strewn about from there. But, like, it's just weird that this box in the back corner just kind of looks like it's been, like, just burst out like that. And if anybody would like to roll anything else.
Can I still roll even though I was the first one and had to roll for that?
Oh, yeah, no. You were rolling to see if, basically, if I tell you to lead, 9 times out of 10, if you fail it, just you'll get scared or something. But if you succeed in it, you get a dice pool to give out to people.
That sounds nifty.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I will go ahead and do an investigate to find out what kind of mushrooms they are.
Okay.
I failed.
That's fine. So, you're kind of looking close at this mushroom, trying to figure out what it is. And you just, it doesn't look like anything you've ever seen. Like, it doesn't look like anything you've seen on TV. It doesn't look like anything you've seen in the woods whenever you go on your little hikes and stuff like that. It's just, it seems like a completely foreign mushroom. But what is weird is you get close to one and it kind of like poofs in your face when you get too close. But as it does that, it sort of dissolves in the process. This makes you a little bit upset because it kind of messes up your face a little bit. Like, you have all this, like, kind of gross gunk all over your face. And you can't seem to really get it off no matter how hard you scrub. It seems to almost press it into your skin. So give yourself an upset condition for that.
If I had known that was going to happen, I wouldn't even look at anything.
But
And
what
I
you
laugh
also find
and
in the
laugh.
process, because that mushroom disappeared and kind of made you react a little bit, is you look over in the corner and it looks like there's a box, like a really big box that has like, almost like broken mushrooms are in its path. Like somebody moved this box recently.
Okay. Still picking at my face, I say, hey guys, this box looks like it's been moved, and I go and I move closer to go check it out.
Alrighty. Yeah, so it definitely looks like somebody moved it. Like, you might need a little bit of help moving it yourself because you're a child, but like, otherwise,
I'll help out.
Okay.
Wait, I'm a child?
You're a child! You're a little person! So, if both of you are wanting to move it, both of you roll body force. Give yourself +1 because you're helping each other out.
Okay. Okay, got it. Okay.
Okay, I rolled 5 dice and none of them were 6s.
Damn.
I even have a 3 on body force.
Damn.
I rolled 6 dice and I got 1 6.
Okay, that's enough. So you struggle a little bit, but because
And I got
both
a
of you-
large straight.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you're helping each other out, and because both of you are there, and at least one of you got a success, you manage to push this thing aside. As you do, 2 things happen. One, a note seemingly falls out from underneath. Like when you move the box, a note kind of comes out from underneath the box. And 2, you find like what looks like a hatch on the box. And who wants to pick up the note?
I'll pick up the note. I don't think I've read anything in this game.
Can you read? Can your character read?
Can you kid read? Can you read, kid?
Yeah, only if I cast a literacy spell.
So I'm sending this to you in a personal message
Okay.
on Facebook. And come on. Come on.
It's just a dick.
It's a dick.
What the hell?
Gotcha. We can all go home now.
Dick with a clown with a
This is
clown
long
face.
con.
Biff.
Okay.
Huh.
So give yourself 1 scared.
I'm good.
Let's just say I can really get into character now.
And immediately this kind of sparks memories in your mind. You look at it, it freaks you out so much, you get a little dizzy. You look around the room and you notice a shadow of a person standing in the corner of the room, Zero.
Oh my god. It looks like my brother.
Yeah, it's you see it in a flash when the mushrooms glow. It dissipates, and then it flashes again, and that shadow's gone. But you
I don't want to play anymore, guys.
Well, we're stuck here, so you don't really have a choice.
I mean, we all could sit outside in the rain.
I just saw my brother. And
I
that's
saw my
not.
brother this morning too.
But that's not possible. He's in a mental institution in Salem.
Oh, Salem again.
Why is...
Huh. I wonder which mental institution he's in.
It's not that one. That one's been dead for 30 years. It's a different one.
But it's still on the same site.
He's getting his mental institution.
It's on the same Indian
No.
burial ground.
I honestly though haven't heard from my brother for 7 years. So not since that night.
Would you like to show the note?
Yes, I would.
I'm cool.
Why don't you go ahead and share it, Dave?
Yeah.
Make it easier for me.
If you guys want, because reading it's kind of tough. But if you want to see it for the audience at home, well, I'll let you all react to it first, and then I'll read it off. It's being shared in the Crack'd thing right now. It takes a bit because it's a big picture. There it is.
Oh, that's just not right.
I'm not okay. The kids aren't all right.
The kids. It's your favorite song.
the thing is though, is my brother said the same thing before he killed my parents.
Yikes.
Was it with an axe?
Surprisingly, with a shovel.
Ooh.
Was it made of iron?
Friend just pours his heart out.
I really thought you guys would be a little bit more empathetic.
I have a 0 for empathy. I mean, I can't.
So for everybody at home who can't see the note, it's a bunch of random scribblings that are all spelled incorrectly, but the big thing on it is written in blood on the front. It says, "The axe told me to do it, and I loved every second."
But I thought it was a shovel.
No, the axe. My brother kept repeating it, but he actually killed my parents with a shovel.
Ugh.
He wasn't right. Obviously, he killed my parents.
He wasn't right. As you might know.
So yeah, I'm really done playing. I want to go. I don't care about getting an A in this class. I chose it as pass, no pass. So
Not
I
at
don't know
your
if
age, you
we can
didn't.
get home today, but we could go sleep in the guest room because I'm getting tired too.
Do you remember that scratch you heard earlier?
Yeah.
how could I
You
forget
hear it
it?
again. But this time it's coming from that trap door that's right in front of you.
Hey Ash, can you film this so we can get this third scene?
Okay. I mean, I haven't stopped filming, but I will point it at the trapdoor.
Just
But you filmed the note, so you got the note filmed.
Oh yeah. I filmed the note, and then now I'm filming the trapdoor.
All right, trapdoor or the door that we came up earlier?
the trap
The
door.
trapdoor.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I like Dave's imitation of a scratch. Of scratching.
That's all I got.
It just sounds like a cat.
So I call not it.
I'm filming.
Can I open it by standing back with the shovel?
Yeah.
You use the shovel to open
I
it.
use the shovel to open the door.
You go like this and you kind of lift the latch. And what you see is just a dark shaft. Like, you can't really see anything. Even when the mushrooms tend to glow, you can't see anything deep inside of it. Like, the light isn't able to hit into it.
More coal.
But the scratching has stopped.
Oh, good.
Oh, God.
Goody, sir.
So are we going down?
I vote no.
Not down there.
We're just down from the attic. We're leaving the attic.
Okay, can we let's close the trapdoor and latch it back up first.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And then go down the regular door to the second floor.
Yes.
Okay.
The regular.
Non-scary door.
Alrighty. So,
Yeah.
You're back on the main, the second floor of the main
Second
hall
floor.
then.
hmm
And you wanted to go to the south guest bedroom, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's,
We didn't.
Oh,
We
haven't been
didn't.
to yet.
Yeah, but that was the one that we hadn't investigated
Yeah,
yet.
that was the
Yeah.
destination you were going, and then you diverted because you saw lights coming from the attic.
Hmm.
South guest.
Alrighty, so you open the door to the south guest bedroom. Let me see if I got anything. I don't think I do. Yeah. So the south guest bedroom, it's way more like hospitable than the north guest bedroom was. There's actually 2 beds in this room, but plenty of floor space. It's actually relatively clean. There is graffiti all over the wall, more names of people who have done the Donkey Dare challenge and written their names and dates down on the wall. There's a cabinet to put like equipment away and everything like that. And overall, it's like actually a pretty decent room. There's no water damage or anything. There's even some like sleeping stuff out because this must be the favorite room that people stay in when they do that dare.
Okay. I also record the names on that list
Alrighty.
and see that Biff is not on there.
Biff is on this list.
Oh, he is on this list. Okay. How many times?
16.
Ooh.
Did he write them all at the same time?
He's on, he didn't stay 17 times like he said, the fucking liar. But yeah, no, it's 16 but different dates every time. Alarmingly in a row sometimes too.
Wow.
I go.
He might have some bad home life.
I go and sit down in the corner and just kind of hold my troll doll tight and just kind of stay sullen and quiet for a little bit.
There's some decent firewood sitting next to the fireplace in here too.
I offer my lighter if somebody can. If somebody wants to start the fire.
I would like to attempt to start a fire.
Alrighty. So roll Tech Tinker. +1 because you have the item from 0.
All right.
Lighter?
Tinker is this.
And everybody, if anybody wants to investigate this room or anything in the meantime while he's trying to get the fire going, it's like...
Yes.
All right, 1 for starting the fire. 1 success.
You got the fire? Okay. So you go to start the fire, and you get the wood in there and everything, and you're trying to light it and everything. You get it, but as you get it, you hear that same scratching again, but this time it's coming from the brick behind the fireplace. And then what happened to everybody else?
I want to roll to investigate. I got 1 success.
All right.
Or to comprehend, just to look around.
Okay, so what you notice, you open up the cabinet that people seem to have put some sleeping supplies in, and you find something in there that you can read to everyone else. I will give it to you in person. It's not that long. Let's see. This one.
After hearing the scratching, I utter my first ever curse word and say, fuck.
My first ever. Okay, there you go. This has been taped to the back of the cabinet, almost as if people wanted you to see it.
It's a newspaper clipping. Prosper Cove family slain in terrible attack. Mother and 3 children killed. Police seek missing father. A tragedy of awful proportions unfolded today in Prosper Cove when Mrs. Gloria Kerwin and her 3 children, Harold 5, Sarah 3, and Susan 2, were found brutally murdered on their estate, the well-known Crack'd Manse. Deputy Whitford of the Prosper Cove County Sheriff's Office made the grisly discovery while making a routine inspection. I've never seen anything like it, the brave but shaken deputy told this reporter. They were all dead. The family had indeed been brutally and cowardly slain, struck down by repeated blows from an axe. Not even little Susan was spared from this hideous fate. No murder weapon has been discovered, and Mr. Arthur Kerwin, the children's father, is presently missing. He is wanted by the police for questioning, although fears are also held for his safety. 1964.